All right, guys, we're back now after doing a pretty hard reset on some shit, trying to get this back up and running. It's very strange. Um, we did a couple speed tests. All of those were coming out pretty good. So I think we are going to give this a shot. See if we keep disconnecting. Uh, uh, oh, dude, someone liked our song. Nice. Okie dokie. And we're back. Yeah, that was fucking wild. I'm probably not gonna listen to this song again. You know, the writing is very strong. Nice. By the way, I have not listened to your song yet, Soul, on this week's challenge, but my girlfriend has, and she said she really liked your song. So Kia Mifree was singing your praises, and now she says that the battle becomes down because you apparently. So when Light Warrior did his initial thing, he gave kind of a different request than he ended up at. So you and her kind of wrote on, apparently on a very similar topic, while me and everyone else kind of went in like a weird direction. So she thinks that you guys approached it in two different ways. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays out. But you approached the same topic in a different direction. So that she's really excited to see how that's going to play out on the grand stage, decided by the gods of AI. By the way, I don't know if you saw it, so I actually mentioned you a little like. So mine, I'm probably going to lose because mine's more of like a meta conversation, like on on us doing these things. So like the second verse is all of the topics we've covered, and the third verse is all of the people that participated so far in the challenge. So like, bro, trying to rhyme everyone's names. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's picked by AI. I don't pick a winner because I mean then unfortunately Kia would just win all the time because happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be unbiased in this election. So we ask the gods of AI to decide for us. You know, like, and AI can't even really listen to the song. All it's doing is like judging the writing. That's all it's really doing. Yeah, give us all that detail and then sample it after we write. Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, he did say that like it's just the place where lost things go. You know what I mean? Like in his abstraction. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the last episode of the season, and then after this, we need to like come up with like what the next season's going to be about, and like what the rules and parameters are. Because I like really doing these, and it's cool to have like a big thing where we all come together. But you know, we might even have to rebuild the Discord again. Uh, um, so that like we can all hop in and have conversations and stuff while we're doing this. You know what I mean? Like this way, it's not just Will Berry talks about everyone's songs. Like this could be more of a group collaborative effort on this platform. Where we sit up here and be like, "Yo, here's the next track," like, and then we could all just talk about what we liked. And then this way, we could probably even get rid of the AI judge. Though I do kind of like having the AI judge there. It's kind of funny because like I like the idea of incorporating because like Gemini, the AI that runs Google, is the AI that's currently fucking me in the ass on on the algorithm. You know what I mean? Like just fucking rocking my sphincter. You know what I mean? Like the algorithm on YouTube is fucked right now, and as long as I keep doing suno content, it's gonna keep killing me. But I say fuck that, dude. We're gonna make a goddamn movement whether YouTube wants it to exist or not. A poll seems, yeah, dude. A poll would be way better. I completely agree, but I do like the idea of enslaving the AI that's currently raw dogging my asshole on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I make it to come over here and yeah, and they come over here and like have to talk about shit that it. And also, every time you feed into AI, it's like, wow, this is a really close battle this week. It's like, bro, you said that last week, and you said that the week before, and then you said it every week. Like, at some point, people are going to catch on to the fact that you're just lying to them to make them feel good. I'm starting to feel like we need mass AI because so many people never got like the comfort and validation that they desperately needed growing up. And so that everyone, like all these millennials and Gen Zers are just like, AI, am I correct, daddy? You know what I mean? I feel like it might just be like, you know, some kind of justification for self, I suppose. Hey, Lost, I can't pin comments because I'm not 18 or older, but... Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's cool that people under 18 can't pin me. I'm really cool with that. That's cool. So kudos to Suno, because man, dude, we have way too many old fucks that look like me talking to minors. But I mean, just look at Roblox. Holy fuck, dude. Jesus. If you ever see a man in his 30s saying he plays Roblox, just call the cops. Just call the fucking cops, man. Just do it. There's a higher chance that guy's a pedophile. Fuck, bro. But cool, man. That works. I know he said that was a problem, so I'm trying to figure. I got you. No, I got you, man. I got you. No, fuck yeah, dude. I can pin comments because I'm 18, but if I don't put it in the song like a lyric vid, so I'm gonna put it in the description. That works. That works. That's actually really smart. I was wondering why you could post stuff in the description because I can't tag anyone in the descriptions. It never works. I try. And it's like, no, you have to go down to the comments, fat boy. And it's like, God damn it. I don't want to walk the 2 milliseconds of scrolling down there. I want to put it in my description where it belongs. I don't want to be a weirdo commenting on my own song. That's like one thing I'll always give people a hard time. That's 99%. But like, bruh. I can't listen to anyone's song though on that, bro. And I ain't got no one saying, hey, man, you should take a look at my song. You know what, dude? I'm just going to go to my conversation with Broden. I'm going to go click that playlist, bro, because I know he's got more on there. And we're just gonna listen to one, bro. I'm going to pick one at random, my brother. Let's do it, dude. Unless he got rid of this playlist, dude. Yeah, I'm going to hit that with a like. All right, so we got all the way down to, oh, God damn it, echo, dude. I can't do it, dude. We'll do You Gave It Up by Broden, dude. We're gonna get into this one, dude. Damn, dude, 239 likes? What the fuck is this dude doing? Sculpting gold? What the fuck? All right, sorry. I will say, Broden has like a really good universal, he's got a way to write universal songs in a universal language. But like, it doesn't come off like he's not saying anything. One of the biggest problems that people have with songwriters that like speak in super vague terms or like a very hyper universal where anything can be applied to anything essentially means you're saying nothing. Somehow Broden escapes that trope. And I don't have like the cognitive capability to explain how Broden does it differently. Like this also the same thing for like Syndrome. Both of these guys write in ways that are more universal and more vague than I personally like. And yet, despite that, their songs never come off with that like level of shallowness that exists in vague songs. They always, like, it feels like it's got like a different kind of weight behind it, even though it's still writing in a vein to appeal to more people. Like they somehow break the mold of writing deeply and writing profoundly in very simple ways, but it never feels like they're not saying something, which is very strange because most of the time you can look at a line immediately like that guy really didn't fucking say anything right there, and that was kind of just a wasted time to listen to that sentiment. It's like saying greed bad. We all think greed bad. We don't know what that person means when they say greed because their definition of greed is different than ours. So statements that we all already agree to are kind of like, yeah, we get it. But like that never happens in Broden's songs, which is very strange because he writes in such a way that it appeals to a higher maximum amount of people, but it always feels like he's got something to say in that process, which is so hard to do and so rare. Like I cannot wrap my head around it, and I try because I would love to have their level of success without having to give up what I believe that I'm saying in the process, because like that what I'm saying thing matters more than like a good song to me, which is why my songs will always be harsher and more cruder to the ears, and why I will never be as popular. But like somehow they've escaped the trap of saying these, they say these more simplistic things in such beautiful ways that it offsets the lack thereof. It's just such a like they've unlocked a superpower that I cannot fathom. I don't even know. I think about that, like, so one, he's already did the cool thing, chorus first. Like, you have 17 seconds, or like 13, to like grab someone by the dick. So starting with your chorus is smart, because then also you can amplify the chorus in the second verse. So someone gets immediate reward for clicking on the song, right? Like the intro course, right? So you get immediate gratification from a listener. You're like, oh, okay, so there's a big pop, there's something here. And then you go into your verse, you tell your story, and then if you can amplify that chorus again and expand upon it in some way, it's almost like a reward when it comes around the second time. You know what I mean? If the chorus is catchy enough to hook you. If it's not catchy enough to hook you, starting with the chorus is bad. You know what I mean? But like even the chorus, I don't need you now. I didn't need your love. I don't need it. That's not a very complex sentence. There's nothing about that that applies to everyone. Everyone's been in a situation with a loved one where they might have outgrown that individual. They might have, been in a bad relationship, and some love is toxic. You know what I mean? Like we've all been in a situation where you do the calculation about whether or not this person is worth it or not. And, for a lot of relationships, the math usually works to yes, keep working. But every once in a while, some people can be so hostile, so vile, so grotesque, or they might have sold you a bill of goods you didn't, like some people like Photoshop them having like a 6-pack abs, and then when you meet them in person they're a little tubby hubby, you know what I mean? Like some people lie, you know what I mean? So the equation can change. But like we've all been in a situation like that. We can all understand that empirically. Like, oh yeah, some love isn't worth the cost. Okay, that's not a very complex thing. But it doesn't feel shallow, despite it actually being a very shallow line. It's fucking crazy. Like, so there's nothing really complex here. There's nothing like really gripping, but the vocal like tone, the fucking way it's written, its flow is dynamic, and despite it being AI, it has a really good texture to it. It's fucking fantastic. And then we're about to go into the verse where he might expand upon that and add the depth to make that chorus really resonate, because that's what a lot of verses are supposed to do. They're supposed to inform the chorus and vice versa. Like they're supposed to work in tandem, unless you're doing something intentionally against one, like the fundamental of the song. Some people do that on purpose, like to subvert stuff and stuff. But by and large, you want these to complement one another. So if you're going to have a very vague chorus, you're probably going to have really direct verses.
And you were halfway gone. Every time it got real, you were moving on. Trying to fix what we had, but it came out wrong. Now I'm sitting here wondering where it's gone. You said forever, I believe that lie. I did. I see through the smoke, yeah, I see it aside. I see it. The nights I was low, you were never there. Now I'm finally good, I don't even care.
See? Again, it was still not like hyper direct and like there wasn't a lot of me in the sentence despite him being the product, a part of the product of the thing. Like I was all in, you know, so there was an I there. But that I is universal for all of us. Anyone that's been in this position has been that I. They can recognize that immediately. This is what I'm saying. Really good songwriting. It allows you to infer everything. If a song can actually place you in the shoes of the actions, then it's already won. Because our ego is so magnificent that as soon as we have the ability to visualize ourselves in something, we just do it. You know what I mean? Because we are so driven by self. Like once we've placed ourselves in a song, we can empathize with that song. We can like that song. And then that song becomes a vector of self-expression for us. We literally take someone else's story, rip them from it, and force ourselves into it. It's actually hyper egotistical and hyper wrong. But that's why so many people like songs where they can do that very easily. The barrier isn't there. There's no particular names. Nothing is being said about events. Like you left me standing on the corner at AM PM. That's not in here because if it was, it would be harder for you to become the product. Because if that never happened to you, you can never grab onto that. You're like, oh, not me. And then if it's not you, you can't empathize with the song on the same level. Because we're all technically egotistical pricks. Like everything boils down to like whether or not we can place ourselves in the scenario that we're listening to. Because we always filter things through our own subconscious and our own ego. So our ego is always going to be present in the math. But like every time it got real, you wouldn't move on. These are hyper universal lines. They are more direct, but like they're aimed universally. You know what I mean? Like that could be applied to a parent. That could be applied to, a boss. That could be applied to a loved one. That could be applied to a child. You know, when things got hard, you just storm off. You know what I mean? Like there are just so many universal applications to those lines that like they resonate almost immediately with someone listening to them. And then here we have an odd thing, trying to fix what we had, but it came out wrong. That's also true. A majority of conversations that you have with people are just going to be about misunderstandings between you and the other person. It happens constantly. It happens all the time. That's why we always owe it to ourselves never to infer ill intent to people, because most of the time, ill intent isn't often like the primary thing. Some people just have different meanings for certain words. They have different like emphasis on certain words, and they have different value levels to those people. So when someone says, it's my honor, to one person, that can mean everything. To another person, that's a cringy line that a dork would say on the internet. You know, people's preferences for things are based off of their upbringing, what things that they chose to evaluate on what level of status it had in their own personal life. Like one sentence for one person, even if it has the same intent or idea behind it, has an entirely different meaning based off of the level of importance those words mean to that individual. So like we're always trying to work with people by and large, but half the time we're just saying the wrong thing or in a way that they don't like. That's why clarifying, further expanding, or dialogue or conversation are good things. And it's what the goal for people is supposed to do so that we can understand each other. That's why we developed language. So we could take two strangers in two different scenarios and get them to like do things together without bloodshed, death, or murder. You know what I mean? Language is like the evolution of all of that. But I also like that here, when he's talking about something as important as language, he uses street term in like something that wouldn't be found in a dictionary. Trina. You know what I mean? Trying, Trina, like it's not a proper enunciation, but it sounds smooth when the song says it. That's really, it shows a level of understanding of language outside of like, hey, AI, write this. You know what I mean?
The nights I was low, you were never there. Now I'm finally good, I don't even care. I was blind.
And that's it, right? Like, you just go through the dialogue. Like, people don't understand how important the conversations they have with their significant other are. Even if it's a throwaway conversation, like at a diner, and like, something casually comes up, and like they bring up something, you're like, I don't give a fuck about that. They're gonna remember that. You know what I mean? Like, like, your character is on display constantly for everybody, and you don't get to dictate what other people view you as. Like, this is how people can fall out of love out of you. Like, let's say you're a guy and, you present yourself in ways that is very feminist. But then, like, when they go home, they're not feminist at all. It really makes you question what they say and what they do. And you're like, well, hold on. In public, you say these things. In private, you expect me to clean the table. You expect me to fall in traditional roles that a female does. Well, these aren't very feminist things. You aren't acting in accordance to the thing that you say. So if you start having contradictions that are that glaring in your life, people can start adjusting what they think about you. And that makes practical sense. It makes logical sense. You are not the only arbiter of what you are. Your actions will dictate who you are to other people louder than your words ever could. And you might say a lot of pretty things, but if you act like a scumbag, well, people are going to start treating you like a scumbag. Sometimes the way people treat you is a direct analog for what type of person you are. Now, that doesn't mean they're always correct, and they might be operating off of ill intent in their mind that they may not have, they might have picked a side in an argument that they shouldn't have picked. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, some people can infer things. This is why it's so hard for people, man. Relationships are hard, man. You're talking about taking two strangers and making them work together when they have different lived experiences, different personalities, different ideas on what success is, on what failure is. Like, it's a very complicated thing. But man, when it works, it is the most beautiful thing on earth. And when it doesn't work, that line right there, I don't even care. There hits a point when the math stops mathing, and then people are like, bro, I didn't sign up for this. And most of the time they don't. Because a lot of people, when they're in the dating phases, they put up fronts instead of being who they are. It's fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a weird part of culture where relationships just don't work because both people are so bent out of lying to pretend to be something that they're not. And just be honest. Radical honesty. I think the first week I was here, I farted in front. I think it was the second day I farted in front of my girl. No, listen, it was. But I'm not saying be a grotesque monster, but don't hide what you are. You know what I mean? Because if it is something that they're not compatible with, wouldn't it be easier to find that out before you do crazy shit or before you, you know what I mean? Be honest. It's good. Relationships are built on that. But again, like in the earlier verse, sometimes both people want it to work. You know what I mean? They work at it. But working at things are hard. Sometimes you're not as plugged in as you should be. Sometimes you're plugged in too much. It's a very complicated equation that if we knew how to do it, we would have way more successful relationships. Divorce is 50%, dude. This is not something that we all just get on board with and know a cure for. And no matter what, no matter how intelligent I sound on this, if I sound intelligent at all, which I don't think so, understand that that doesn't mean I'm good at relationships. Bro, I struggle through this shit every day. I say wild shit all the time, and then I'm like, oh no. And then I have to think about everything I do and everything. You know what I mean? Bro, if you got the answers on how to be good at this shit, someone fucking write a book. I'll buy it. It's fuck, dude. But just be yourself. That's what matters. Be you. And if they love you, you know what I mean? They love you. And if they don't love you, or if they fall out of love with you, doesn't mean they never loved you. Doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means things in their life and priorities changed. Because we can have honest, real conversations about people. Sometimes the math doesn't work. but sometimes it does. And when it does, it's worth fighting for. Like, I don't know, man.
But I don't even care. I was blind, I admit it. Now I see how you did it. You were cold from the start. I was giving my I don't need you now, I don't need your love. Had me falling down, now I'm rising up. You were everything I was dreaming of. Now you just somebody that I'm thinking of. I gave you my heart, gave it up. I gave you my heart.
Yeah, like all of this writing is super simple. And this is like the type of writing that anyone can immediately distill to a lived experience. And for that, it will always get, there's a reason why Taylor Swift is the most played artist on earth. Now, I'm not saying this is like Taylor Swift, but like, it's such a bummer that like I got to the happiest point in my relationship life as I become like a bigger content creator for music. Like, fuck, man. I could have made so many dope heartbreak songs, but I'm happily in love. And no one likes to hear the love song. They like to hear about the heartbreak because so many people are not in love. You know, so many people have heartbreaks. So I'm like, I want that shit. It's fuck, bro. Like, none of this is like crazy. But let's talk about his writing style here and where the reason why I think it does better than like that style of music with no backbone. I was calling your line, you were cutting me off. That is a direct, like that's almost like a rap thing. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm calling your line and you're cutting me off immediately. That is fanciful wordplay despite saying something simple. It has thematic resonance from the first line to the last word. You know what I mean? From the first word to the last word. It sounds like, yeah. But also, he does this little thing at the end. A lot of people overuse ad-libs, and I would argue maybe he's getting close to doing that because every line has it. But on paper, it looks like he's overusing ad-libs. But here, we understand that, like, it's flowing very well. Some people misplace the ad-libs because that's what you can do with parentheses. If you put something in parentheses, a second voice, if you have that kind of option on, will track behind it, you know. And I think it's actually paying dividends. So we have smart, intelligent writing. We also have a nice flow of writing, but then it also has not only all of that, it also has a good, like a tenure, or is that the word I'm looking for? Or tone, I suppose. Like it's just got a good smooth cadence to it, and there's no abruptness in this the switching between the dynamics. Like when we go to the next sentence, even I feel like I do this a lot in my songs. I do a lot of I statements, and I do too many statements with I. And then it just constantly feels like I'm always restating the I. Versus here, we have I did this, and then we go into a seamless transition all the way to the last line right here where it says, I ain't feeling that stress. So it has like a unique bow on it where the I came in, and then he, like, just like a good writer, he didn't use any repetition of I until he went to close the sentiment. And that's really cool. He did a little more I heavy in the next one though. There's 3 of them. So let's see how that plays out.
Cut me off. Now I'm cutting you out. I don't care what it costs. All the pain that I felt turned to the fool in my chest. Now I'm moving too fast. I ain't feeling that stress. You were playing your part. I was playing it real. Now I'm done with the past. I don't chase how it feel. Every scar that you left, yeah, but who I.
Yeah, there's a lot of I'm and I's in there. So I guess he does it pretty heavily. I think that is a problem with modern songwriting, by the way. And I do it myself, and our boy Broyden did here as well. I've said this a lot in my reactions to other, like, you know, artists like Goran, Romain, and Ren. Gord, when he writes, he has a timeless feel to him. It almost feels like it belongs in more of the abstract, like 70s and 80s rock, or 70s and early 80s rock, you know. And then Romaine has this like ethereal 80s, 90s or 80s feel to it, where it's more about the musicality. And then the 90s and the 2000s came around, and where people really had this spurk of individualism against like an authoritarian level of control, which is what was seen as the system at the time, started to blossom. And a lot of our songs in the 90s and 2000s shifted to very I-centric, egocentric lyrics and presentation. It's always presented from the me aspect, or it's always about some product of self. I feel like more like even now when we get into like the younger generation of writing, and myself included, like in the 2010s and 2020s, it is almost entirely absorbed about the individual. And some of the universality of like songs feel like they're holding on to some like classical lineage that just doesn't exist as much today. Like songs just feel like they're way more centered around the self. And then like I said this in my Syndrome song and my Broden ones or song reactions, is that like I feel like these guys bring a way of that universality. Like see in the verse, it's very colored with language about him or you, but it doesn't say either or. Like who's who, you know what I mean? That's left up for you to interpret in your mind. And always you're going to probably place yourself as the I because of your ego. But the verses are super open.
Now I'm done with the past. I don't chase how it feel. Every scar that you left, yeah, bit who I am. Now I'm standing alone, but I still got a plan. I was yours, now I'm not. All the love that I lost. Turn the strength, now it's all that I got. All I got, all I got, all I got. Turn the strength, now it's all that I got. All I got, all I got, all I got. I don't need you now, I don't need your love. Had me falling down, now I'm rising up. You were everything I was dreaming of. Now you just somebody that I'm thinking of. I gave you my heart, you gave it up. I gave you my heart, you gave it up. I gave you my heart, you gave it up.
One thing that's really cool is that his songs always feel they're more pop oriented, right? So they're going to have that kind of vibe and that feel, but they're also going to move like more to like shorter cadences, quicker songs, like something that you can jump into, digest immediately, and then jump out of. Which is probably another reason why his tracks are as successful as they are. Not only because he's got a good talent for it and the voice is always phenomenal, but you know he respects your time, which is very uncommon. Like I feel like my songs are like 5 minutes long. I'm always asking way too much of my audience. Like, know this thing. Here's my Ill of Men song, and here's like all my. It's a way too much ask for someone to come in and listen to one of my songs. You know. And I think that pays dividends because he also has a good message. Like there's an empowering message in there. If you are finding yourself in a relationship with someone that is just not interested in being with you and not respecting your time and not valuing what you bring to that relationship, like, bro, why are you there? Stop torturing yourself. There's someone dying right now to be with you. Like you're talking to a guy right now or watching a guy right now that had given up on relationships altogether. And I was done with them, dude. I wasn't going to be in another. I'd be like, bro, I'll never be the guy in a relationship. I'm not going to have kids. Fuck all that. I'm going to play video games and I'm going to smoke weed and I'm going to work. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that till the day I die. I don't give a fuck what happens to my body. I don't give a fuck about anything. And then I fell in love and now I'm not that guy. Like, it doesn't like, you know what I mean? Like, you can change so much of your outlook. Like, just because you're on a path doesn't mean like you're on that path. To all those incel fucks that might watch my content, like all fucking 5 of you, because I don't really I don't give you the self-help feeling that you're looking for, and I'm okay with feminism as long as feminism isn't done with a negative pursuit of like punishing men. then I'm on board. You know what I mean? And because I'm not going to be like, I've always been the guy that like you share responsibility for your outcome. If you look like this and you can't get a girlfriend, that's on you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Stop looking like a goddamn cave troll. Take care of yourself. Go out and do some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to look like a disgusting man slob. And it doesn't matter because I look like this and I still got a girlfriend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could probably like do my hair all corporate up and shit. I could probably go fucking look super ridiculous and try to like oversell a thing, but like I wouldn't be happy doing that. And then if I'm not happy, it's going to lead to a worse result. I like looking a little grungy and shit, dude. Having weird fucking hair, dude. Scruffy beard, man. Like, it's my thing. Now, when I go for a job interview, it'll be cleaned up a little bit and I'll be miserable for like a month until shit grows back. But like, those are different things, Like, listen, bro. If you are one of those incel fucks that lock yourself in your room and hate women because life is hard, dude, life is hard because you choose to make it hard. There are a million things you can do to improve your situation right now. Stop being a victim. Get off your ass and do something. Fuck, dude. That also being said, you don't have to date the crazy ladies either, bro. Don't sell yourself short. You know what I mean? Like, she starts putting moon rocks to your brain to decipher your thoughts. Run. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and also, like, I say these things and people will be like, yo, dude, well, how do I get a girlfriend? I'm like, well, what do you do to meet women? I go on Tinder. Dude, stop doing that. Like, what? Like, stop doing that. Fuck Tinder. What else do you do? I go to bars. Stop doing that. What the fuck are you doing? Bro, if you want to meet someone, this is all you do. Moon rocks incoming. Never! This is what you do. Be yourself. Do what you love to do. And do it in public. Like, if you love League of Legends, go to League of Legends tournaments. Go to, like, bars that have, like, events for this, where you can get together and watch sport, like, esports with other people. Do what you love to do with people. That's all you have to do. If you keep doing what you love to do and being yourself, being genuine, being interesting, and you do it in public, someone will be like, I like what that guy's doing. They may not even agree with what you're doing, but it opens the doorway for you to be in the most comfortable, confident position you can be in because it's something you love to do. It's something you enjoy doing. You know what I mean? It gives you access to talk to people about a shared interest, about something you want to talk about with another person. And they signed up to that conversation by being there and having that conversation with you and liking those same things. You have a free in to have a conversation about your favorite thing with a person probably of the opposite sex or of the same sex that you might be crushing on. It gives you every opportunity to talk about something that you know stuff about and that you're interested in a safe environment where they're also doing something they enjoy. Or, okay, being alone and stuff. Yeah, well, that's true, too. Yeah, if you want to be alone, it's not the rest of the world's fault for you being alone, dude. You picked that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, dude. I got a lot of my buddies that are always trying to meet girls on Tinder. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to set yourself up for a terrible time. You're going to force yourself into a date that is entirely commodified by your looks or what you might have offered on a personal level, like a house or whatever your fucking profile has. It's all going to be superficial. It's all going to be fucking shallow. And then you're going to go there and pretend to be someone that you appear to be on your social media platform. That's not going to be a recipe for a good relationship. Yeah, can good relationships spawn from that? Yeah, because some people can navigate those things pretty well. That doesn't mean it's going to work out for you. Just be the best version of yourself that you can be. And the best time you're going to do that is when you're doing stuff you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like going to like midnight releases to do gaming fucking tournaments and stuff. I was doing that shit, bro. Because I would be loud, obnoxious, and be like, yeah, and like the life of the party, bro. It would make people talk to me. You never know where that's going to go, dude. I got jobs because of shit like that, bro. Like, that's networking. Just network in your hobbies. All right, dude. We got another song by Bro, and we're gonna jump into here. Oh wait, whoops, nope, that was the song with Takeda, dude. My dude. Let's get into it.
Drift low, me and take it up till we old.
I did not like the way it said Takeda. That's not. Guys, put that little fucking the little line there. You can put it between the te and then the ka, or the and then the te and then the kita. Yeah, you just put the little line there, and it'll emphasis that way. Come on, man. It's gonna be a rough one to get into if they're just gonna butcher our boy's name the entire time. Yeah, they're butchering the way it says Takeda, bro. Bruh. When you next time you guys write a song, go add, it's like right past the zero. Put the TA and then put that there and then just mess with that until it gives you the correct pronunciation. And it won't, because this is the hook, man. You can't let it butcher the hook. You can't have it say your name incorrect unless, like, you know, that's how you say it, you know? But it's Takeda.
Baseline shake through the stereo. Ride slow, whole town stare. Smoke drift flow through the winter air. From hollow cars to foreign whips. Same two brothers on legendary shit. Yeah.
I mean, I'm liking the energy. I will say though, the rhyme scheme to me is not intense enough. You know what I mean? Like, I like it. It sounds good. It's got good energy, but I feel like I need harder bars. Maybe then again, it's the hook. It's meant to be something like, let's get to the actual verses before we start critiquing things. Let's see.
Night black sky, road glow red. My bro in front smoke blacked out window bins. Holographic Charizard shine in the dark. Back then we already knew who we are. Playground battle, so crowd went wild. Two young brothers with a storm inside. Now the V12 scream.
Yeah, okay, so this is going way harder. I mean, it's cringe as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Holographic Charizard shit. Like, this is just like some Logan Paul shit. But like, it is doing good, and this could probably be speaking to a younger generation of people that are into this stuff. You know what I mean? For me, it's a little cringe, but you know, it's clearly working. You know what I mean? It's clearly working. I wouldn't be able to write these lines personally, but like so far the flow is good. So far the actual rhymes are good, but shine in the like holographic Charizard shine in the dark. That I would have cringed at writing that personally.
We already knew who we are. Playground battle, so crowd went wild. Two young brothers with a storm inside. Now the V12 scream when we drift through town. Bass hit hard when the sun go down. Eyes low, cold air, engine cry. Small town ghosts in the Gotham nights. No fake love, no switch sides. Loyalty deep, that's life or die. Drift too fast, let the tires talk. Street lights blur when the shadows crawl. We built this way, not to copy the sound, but they don't know us. They just know the town.
And again, Ghost in here. It's little. Yeah, little AI-ism right there, and then we went into the no. It's pretty heavy AI-ism right there, personally. But again, I mean, it's all working good. Like the flow is really good here, dude. The fucking rhymes and bars are very smooth. There's just some lines, you know, but it's cool because it's meta as fuck. Like Gotham Knights, like. One, the Gotham fucking Batman games are fire, dude. And the best Batman voice actor of all time is in the. I think he's in those ones. So mad respect. But it is a little cringe. Like to me, this is a little corny. You know what I mean? Like I'm driving around with my V12. Like, all right, dude. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of that like red pill like. I got a Bugatti. What color's your Bugatti? You know what I mean? Like, I understand that young men love it, but for me, it's a little cringe.
Know the town. Deep talks late when the
good
let the
metaphor.
engine hum, do the talking for me. Windows half fog, everything will slowly for me. Bro, then can you roll one up real slow for me? Everything moving right now like it's meant for me. Windows low, let the air move slow. Nothing said, but we already know. I see who survive off even not for long. Let the silence sit like an old slow song. We don't force words when the road stretch long. Just ride through the quiet when the thoughts run long. Same two minds, but we move off feel. Let the bass carry what we don't reveal.
Like good flow. I mean, right, dude, like that was a good bounce to like the rhymes there. Like it wasn't hyper fast, it wasn't hyper, you know what I mean? And it wasn't also a rap. Like having a voice do that softly. I mean, without it sounding forced. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tried, but like there are times I try and go like get an R&B song, voice, because I have one, and I try to force it to do some of my rap parts, and oh my god, dude, you can tell that it's really good at the R&B part, but it can't like do the singing that way correctly fast enough, and it just comes off bad. That sounded fucking phenomenal. It had a good bounce and a good cadence to like where it was rhyming and when it was rhyming. I don't think anything really missed there. Again though, some of them were like he rhymed long multiple times though. There's a lot of me's in here. Slowly for me, meant for me, talking for me. Like there's a lot of repeated stuff here that like if you were doing it like structurally by the rules, like the soft rules of songwriting, those would all be kind of marks against it. But because it matches the cadence and the type of song that it is, it doesn't actually hit as a miss like at all. Because like also the rules, the soft rules for songwriting, they don't ever necessarily mean like because like AI tries to follow those. If you go and tell AI to write a song, it'll try and follow more or less soft rules around songwriting. That doesn't mean those are good songs, you know. Half the times, if a song is purely AI, it usually sucks ass. So the soft rules are just that, soft rules. They're not, just because something isn't meeting like a certain thing doesn't mean it's not good. But a lot of the times you try not to do a lot, like the long pops up multiple times. Now, if you don't hear it when you're listening to it, it doesn't matter. But if you hear it, it could negatively impact your listening experience on the second play, like while you're listening to it again. I have songs where I did that, where I'd rhyme something too many times and I didn't recognize it when I was writing it. And then every time I go back and re-listen to it, even if I think the lines are sick and the rhymes are fire, like I'm like, I rhymed that too many times, or I reuse that line too often, or I have that problem right now. I use the word mantle in almost every one of my songs, and I need to knock it the fuck off. Like, god damn it, dude.
Same two minds, but we move off feel. Let the bass carry what we don't reveal. Deep talks late when the roads go dead. Pain stay hidden, but alive in the chest. Me and my brother still move like ghosts through the dark night. Air on the empty road. Ride slow, we drift through the midnight rain. Me and my brother still carve from pain. Chrome shine bright when the road all black. Real ones stay. No.
Again, very simple rhymes. Rain, pain, black, back. Like, lyrically, it's not very impressive. But it doesn't need to be, because it's relaying like those easy rhymes are doing a lot of heavy lifting. And the complexity lacking there is actually a good thing for a lot of people. Now, I don't write this. I try not to write this way. I still have some songs that have simple rhyme schemes like this. I try not to, because every once in a while I sit there and go, God damn, dude, I need to write it better. Like I can't just like lean on, and then I get in my own head. But here we have these guys just making a sick track about something they enjoy. I would want like a more visceral language, but also if you were to do that, the song would be significantly less popular and it could negatively impact the replayability. So I'm not the best judge for that. You know what I mean?
Turning back, let the whole town stare. Baseline hit like a war out there. From Pokemon trades to foreign whips, same two brothers on legend.
like, to me, that's just cringe, dude. That's a cringe line. The foreign whips and Pokemon trades. I don't get it. It's not, if that's what the young people are into, you know what I mean?
Drift low, real ones, never fold. Drift low, me and take it up till we old.
Like musically, it's all good. Like it's not a bad song. I'm not hating on it, but that was probably his weakest track between the two of them that I've listened to so far. This might have been like to an event because a lot of the comments are saying stuff like that. So we got the typical here. Latin Logic. I haven't actually listened to one of her songs in a minute, dude. This track is sick, my guy. Do bikes count? Band of Sorrows, I Survived. Oh, we got the infamous Love in here. He says, this is lit. Hey, my boy Gudeus is in here. Hey, Starlight's in here. Oh, we should start liking some of these, dude. AI Rockstar. He's a... Oh my god, dude. Vism is in here, dude. So it got the seal of approval, dude. Hey, I recognize that name. Damn, dude. I Survived is up in these comments, dude. He's tagging everybody. Damn, bro. I need to get a fucking listener like that, dude. What the fuck? Oh, Broden tagged Persuasive Pro, dude. I almost never do the tagging stuff, dude. It's not really my style. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Personally. Let's follow that guy. What's this guy all about? Photorealistic. Well, you can tell he uses Chat GPT now. AI music, limitless creativity, dude. He's sitting at 969 followers. Let's see. Inevitable Gravity, dude. Fucking trap music. God damn it. Everyone makes trap music these days. All right, well, let's take a look at this. Oh, wait, never mind. He's 4.5. We can't listen to that on stream. What the fuck? I'm sorry, sir. You don't have the right for me to share your shit. And you don't have the right to upload on Spotify, Apple, or that. What the fuck? Guy, you don't have the rights for this. I can't. This is why Suno is cutting down on people downloading, dude. If this guy's going around downloading all these things and uploading these songs to fucking Suno when he doesn't have the rights for it, like, they're going to limit downloads. God damn it. You don't even have the right to commercially put your music out. Pay for the fucking app, dude. God damn it. Hey, babe. Oh, what's this? Oh, cheese. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
So, how you doing? What you doing out there?
Just dishes and stuff. Listening.
Oh my god, you're listening? How am I doing?
Good. When are you gonna play some music? Just kidding.
Oh my god, bro! I gotta. No one sent me songs.
I'm just kidding.
No
I
one.
thought Starlight had one coming.
She hasn't come back, dude.
No, I could send you songs.
Send me songs. All right, we can't react to this guy's music on stream, unfortunately. 4.5s, man. Let's go listen to AI Rockstar, dude. It's been a while. And I know he's a 5.5. Summer's End. What's this all about?
Pack my bags in the dying sun. Another chapter is done. Boarding pass and a heavy heart, knowing that we have to part. You were the dream in the coastal haze, the golden light of my favorite days. Walking slow down the ocean shore, hoping that we could stay some more. Summer's end, you don't have to go home.
I don't know if that works. You don't have to go home. Well, you got to go home. If this is like a guy that went to spend the summer with his lover, and then like had to go forced to go back afterwards, God, that would fuck me up, man. That would fuck my ass up.
Well, you gotta go home. Back to the grind, back to the unknown. I know I wanna take me home. Take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. Take me home.
I feel like there's gonna be a long song, bro. That was just the first verse and the chorus, man. There's a lot of repetition in "Take Me Home," but I think it pays dividends here, because if like the core thesis of the song is a fleeting feeling, the repetition of "Take Me Home" will help like place you in that state of mind.
Salt in my hair and a sunburned face, leaving behind this secret place. Promise me now that we won't forget the sweetest nights that we've met yet. Trains will whistle and planes will fly, wiping tears from a summer sky. Out of the sand into city street, wondering when our paths will meet. Summer's end, you don't have to go home.
So that verse was pretty cool because it helped people put a tangible feeling into it. Something that you use a lot in writing is when you talk about like a feeling, or you try to give like real life sensations to a thing. Like, let's say you're writing a chapter or a portion of a book and you want someone to know that it's coastal. So you'll use different language to explain that, different types of air, noises, smells. You might mention things like brine, or something like a hint of brine on like the tip of the tongue, or the air might be flecked with like some type of like a stench, you know what I mean? Or like you might hear seagulls. Like, you use like visual indicators to help place people in proximity to like what you're writing, so that it gives them a better like visual pathway to like grapple with stuff. Like salt in the hair is a really good one example, because a lot of people that have ever been to a beach will have that instinct of what that feels like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, and it fires in your memory, like within the mind, like your synapses fire, and it's like, oh yeah, dude, I can place that. You know, like that's why a lot of the times when I talk about songs, I talk about like wind rolling across my face, because that's something that like I think most people can like immediately picture and then build a direct pathway into.
You don't have to go home. Well, you gotta go home. Back to the grind. Back to the unknown. I know I wanna take me home. Take me home. I know I wanna take me home. Take me home. And the sun goes down on the boardwalk lights. We trade our vows for the starry nights. It's time to step out into the chill. I'm holding on to the memories still. Yeah, we're stepping out into the light, saying goodbye for just tonight.
This also works good for like someone that like just met someone really interesting on vacation. You know what I mean? I imagine there's no shortage of love stories happening where people are on vacation, especially if you're single when you're on vacation, right? Go to a bar, go to an event, meet like the most dynamite person. And then after summer's end, you part ways. You know what I mean? And you're like wasn't that like the plot of like Out Cold and shit? Like a guy met a girl on summer vacation and he fell in love, and eventually her father tries to buy the fucking thing he works at. I feel like that was the plot point there. I could totally be off brand here.
Summer's in. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Time to pack it up, back to the real world. I know who I wanna take me home. Summer's in. Take me home.
I like it. Again, it's not really in my ball house of music that I would listen to on my own. But from its production value, its writing value, there were a few lines in here I really liked, like the whole rhyming the memory still. That's an awkward rhyme that AI would never do, and that's fucking fantastic. Whenever I can see something that is clearly human made, like with human intent, awesome. Even if it is AI made, that doesn't detract from its thing, but I like the uniqueness that humans can offer in these environments. And that's the thing that I value, is like some type of uniqueness, even if it could detract from the flow of the song. There's a reason why my songs are not very popular. Damn, bro, AI Rockstar is almost at 7,000? Fuck, homie, chill. Mad respect, though. I don't know if I want to go into a big old remix thing. But let's see, what is this? August remix challenge. Oh. Well, I'll like this. Is this a song, though? where's that last song? Hey! Good stuff, man. I'm literally out of credits, dude. I can't do shit. Alright, that's that same one we just did. Holiday balls? Fuck it, dude. Let's go to the playlist. Library. And then... I don't know if she released the song yet. Starlight has not released the song. She is not. Okay, then. We won't do that song now. Homies Volume 2, bro. It's been a while, dude. It's been a while. Oh, dude. Oh, never mind. Luna World is still 4.5, dude. What the fuck? Let's do Crawlies, dude. Hell yeah, dude. This lady, dude. I don't know their gender. I don't care. It's not my thing. I'm not here to talk about that. This individual, bro, they make some crazy world building songs. They lean more into the anime aesthetic than most, which, you know, I personally don't give a shit about because I love the anime aesthetic. Who doesn't love big anime boobies? But, you know, I'm here for it. Let's get into Cut Off. God damn, dude. You don't love anime movies? I know.
Banished me off in the coffin into the realm that clouds my dreams. And in this realm I linger.
Bro, that little like floaty fucking sound that made, or that little piano part. Oh my god, bro. That put a tingle on my penis. In a non-sexual way. It was just really good.
Into the realm that clouds my dreams. And in
Oh, a
this
little
realm
flutter,
I
dude. Come on.
through gardens beyond.
And then it's matched with a fucking stylish Spanish style guitar. Oh, muy bueno. I'm so fucking erect right now. God damn. Really good musicality right there, dude.
The realm that clouds my dreams. And in this realm I linger on through gardens.
Such spacious
beyond
trading, dude.
time. Buried below these memories, digging for a clean remedy. Still won't quench my thirst, so leave me in my heart.
The fucking vocal fry, the slight distortion on the piano to make it sound like it's corrupting in real time. Like, fucking Christ, dude. This is anime as fuck, but like, bro, anime is in and cooking, baby. As long as you don't make little girls, man, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean?
Remedy still won't quench my thirst, so leave me in my heart. A void between the stars, in light that bends in words, a cry within the dark, and a thorn in my heart.
God damn, bro. That's a good escalation, dude. It goes from like a hauntingly beautiful voice to like distorted with heavy vocal fry. And the pain and anguish in the scream, despite it even being AI, is fucking, it is palatable.
Can't feel the warmth of the sun's desire. Emotions cut off as my time went expired. Sliced through my hell in eternal gore as this empty husk that killed her core.
Think about that like from a conceptual framework, right? Like, we do this every day, by the way. Like the term loss of innocence kind of like is the same thing. Like, think about Jon Snow when he joins the Wall. Like, his entire life, he was believed going to the Wall was an honorable act by the greatest of warriors. And for a time, it was. And that lineage was passed down to people in the North. But, like, the harsh reality is that, like, a lot of people stopped giving a fuck and they didn't take the threat up there seriously, and they just started sending prisoners and rapists and like bad people. Criminals and convicts, right? Like, you can either have your penis cut off or you can go to the Wall. Like, in that moment, his core self was like totally exposed. And that loss of innocence there kind of left him dead. Like, the knowledge of learning what really happens there kind of like shatters the entity before you. Like, and then you have to rebuild that entity into something else with new information. It's something that most people in America have to go through at least once in their life, when we spend so much time learning about, you know, Christopher Columbus and like all the good things America has done, and our history books kind of gloss over every negative thing we've ever done, you know? But then when you get to college, you find out that, like, you know, America's done some fucked shit. Like, Christopher Columbus wasn't a good dude. He wasn't coming over here for good reasons. You know what I mean? Like, the things they did to the, you know, the native population here wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, but you don't learn that until you're, like, probably old enough to understand the difference. And maybe that's a failure because so many people don't pay attention or go to college. So some people like grow up completely brainwashed and thinking that we're like super soldier good people. We're all just Captain America in this bitch. When that's just not the truth. If you ask me which country has done the most for society, like globally, I'm going to say America, and I'm going to say America has been a net positive. But that doesn't mean that like it's all gravy, baby. You know what I mean? Like, look at America right now. People are having like hard realizations right now. Like, the thing that we kill, we replace with something new. Like, even if it's not like an eternal thing, a truth being revealed, or an eternal battle. Like, sometimes you become apathetic by caring too much. So how does someone who's full of empathy conquer their drive to keep giving and helping other people? They have to kill that empathy. And that's, you know, empathetic people, when they're pushed to their logical extreme, like, what comes after empathy? Just look into some young shit, dude. You'd be like, whoa. But yeah.
Empty husk that killed her core.
Dude, the blended jazz, dude. What the fuck? Sick. And just like a jazz solo, it overstays its welcome. That's like quintessential jazz.
Don't know where I belong. I can't do this for long. Too scared to feel my fall if it goes beyond my wall.
I will say verse 3 is probably the weakest of them.
Oh God, I don't know what to feel like for anything that's real, but it's the only way it seems that I'll be able to be free. after the breakdown. Where will you go? Can't feel the warmth.
I left some comments,
of the
dude.
sun's desire. Emotions cut off as my time went expired. Slice through my hell in eternal gore. As this empty husk that killed her core. Can't feel the warmth of the sun's desire. Emotions cut off as my time went expired. Slice through my hell in eternal gore. As this empty husk that killed her core. For the sake of some death
Nice.
and cheers, I got unrecognizable to my peers. Isn't that quite like my luck? Bending in light till I am cut off.
I don't know if I would have tripled down on the chorus, but the final chorus going fucking ape shit was worth it. You know what I mean? Anyone who blends jazz with metal is just fucking on point, dude. What a bold fucking song. And then also to blend in like Spanish guitar along with metal, like heavy, like dude, it's fucking intelligent, bro. It's wild. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude, Fake Ohio. I kind of want to do this one. Let's see. Is this 4? It's 5.5. We're good. As an Ohio resident, dude, I fuck with this song, bro. I fuck with it heavy. And also fuck the Midwest. But like, I still love my homies out there. You know what I mean?
You call it home, but it's a prop town. Paint on the brick and the grass too green. Same blue porch, same lock screen door. Same old smile in the magazine.
It is such a fucking wild life, dude. You know, being a city kid and growing up in Los Angeles was like a wild time for me. It taught me a speed of the world that doesn't exist. But like Los Angeles is not like most major cities. Yeah, the highway is a nightmare. But like my entire life, no one ever felt like they were in a rush. You know what I mean? That was more common in cities like New York or Memphis or, you know, there was like a laid backness to LA that was just felt. Even when I was in traffic, I remember I could always just be like, it is what it is. And just sit there. And it was fine. And like hundreds of other people would be doing the same thing on the highway. Every once in a while, you have that one asshole cutting in between people. But by and large, like Californians just had this intrinsic level of chill that just didn't exist elsewhere. And now that I'm older and I see people in like real spaces all the time, it's so wild. But like in Ohio, it wasn't that way. Like I lived in a scummy part of a suburb in Los Angeles or on the outskirts in the Inland Empire called Lake Elsinore, California. And it's so weird that Ohio is so full of all these, we're your country type, motherfucker. We like the good old boys now south. You know, they come out like that. But like I remember I broke down in Ohio and it took me, I had to walk to work. Someone finally pulled over and like gave me a ride. I was like almost there, you know. Eventually it happened, but in California, whenever someone broke down, the whole neighborhood would come out and help, dude. It was wild, dude. Like, it was just like a different level of community. Even like with people that clearly didn't like each other. Like it just doesn't seem to like foster everywhere else. In Ohio, everyone is just like so insular, so into their own thing. Like it's weird because they like to call themselves like the northern rednecks, but like they act like a bunch of brutish like Yankee fucks that are too good to like stop to help. Like New York is the only place where like you could get sexually assaulted in front of another person and no one gives a shit. Like New York, like crime just happens there and no one cares. Like it wasn't that way like when I was growing up. Like if a gangbanger showed up on one of the streets, bro, the whole town came out, bro. They were ready to throw down, dog. Like I can't explain it, dude. Like it's so weird that like people in Ohio try to like pull this whole country grift, like they're gonna be all helpful and shit. But like, dude, everyone is just doing their own little thing. It's all in a fucking town that had like a warehouse in it that got shut down. The malls are fucking boarded up. They're being bought out by Amazon corporations so that they can buy warehouses to put them there. Like restaurants are shut down. They tried dumb shit like dry counties and it didn't work. Like it was just so full of so many stupid fucking things that destroyed and killed these towns. Like, I don't know, it's crazy.
Screen door, same old smile in the magazine. Your truck rolls past that shuttered diner. No one eats there, they just pose and leave. Map dot lies on a folded paper, marked up roads that don't believe.
That's fucking sick, dude. Ohio does feel like a cutout for like a movie, dude. It doesn't feel real. Like there was this sick restaurant that opened up in Springfield right next door to my shop. And like the amount of people that actually ate there didn't exist, but they had, dude, oh my God. It was a seafood Mexican place, so I didn't get half the shit there. But bro, I would drop like $20 a day in that bitch, bro. Fucking Christ, dude. They had bomb quesadillas, dude, and chips and shit. Oh my God, bro. But like the amount of people that pull up and then take a picture out front and then roll away was, bro. Like people lie so much about what they've done. They'll take a picture in front of a restaurant they never ate at and then pretend like they know what the food is. You know what I mean? Like the food out there was so amazing. It's like, I don't know if you did any of this. Like, you know what I mean? I need more than just a picture of something outside, bro. I want a video of you inside eating that shit at this point, bro.
And I keep looking for the crack where the real thing leaks through. Every corner says come back, but it don't know you. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. Same face, same lie, same cold glow. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. I know you.
Dude, that's so true. Church bells ring from a speaker box. Your fairground rides never leave the lot. Bro, the Springfield Fairground is set up year round. And I only know that because I've been DOT'd there like 5 times when I was a truck driver. Like, bro, the fairground is open like 5 times a year. Why is all that shit out there? Like, goddamn, bro. Lazy fucks. Sorry.
Church bells ring from a speaker box. Your fairground rides never leave the lot. The lake is wide, but it's fenced in tight. And the fish got traded for a parking spot.
Bro, fire, dude. I feel like our agricultural department in Ohio, because it's usually Republican run, is dog shit. Like, it's so crazy.
You say stay here like it means forever. Like forever's just a receipt. But the wind keeps dragging names off signs. The black top folds underneath. And
Bro, Ohio is like the black hole of America. You move there because you might get a job at a place, and then the job probably goes under, and then you're stuck there for the rest of your life. I was the happiest I have ever been the 2 times I left Ohio. One time to go back to the West Coast to get to work at a TA in Fontana. And then I moved back to Ohio like a dumbass after working there for 3 years. And then when I left Ohio to come up to Canada, to come chill with my girlfriend and, you know, see this whole relationship thing and see how awesome it is. You know what I mean? Like, both times I left Ohio were like the happiest moments of my life. You know what I mean? Ohio is a shithole. And yet I still had great times there, and there are great people there that will probably spend the rest of their life there and refuse to leave. Fuck, dude.
Keep looking for the crack where the real thing leaks through. Every corner says come back, but it don't know you. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. Same face, same lie, same cold glow. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio.
I will say, I used to believe Ohio was cold until I moved to Canada. Oh my God, bro. We have no idea how warm Ohio is, bro. Canada's fucked in the ass, dude. It might be just where we live, but like they don't even put out salt. They don't even maintain the roads. Like you just hope you got winter tires, lady. Shee! You know what I mean? Fuck, dude. I have never, like in Ohio, the roads would be shit. Whether it be like plow trucks out, like 20 or 30 of them, you know, and then on top of that, like by nightfall, you can see the road again. You know what I mean? Here, the road disappears. It stays gone until summer or until like spring. It's just ice, pure ice. These people run on ice. It's fucking wild, man. Anyway.
Same face, same lie, same cold glow. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. I know you, I know you. If I dig my hands in the dirt right here, will I hit a wire? Will I hit bone?
You never know.
You can dress up lost in a field of gold, but it still goes home alone. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. Same face, same lie, same cold glow. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. I know you, I know you. Fake Ohio, fake Ohio. Burn the script and let it show.
Hey, we got a notification. I mean, dude, a good track. I mean, dude, you could tell this was like, I believe, human written entirely. Probably fed into AI. I assume everyone feeds their song into AI just to, you know, probably count syllables and fucking spell check and shit. So I fuck with this heavily, dude. This is a dope track. It's got a perfect feel. It's got a good vibe. You know what I mean? It has a little post-grungeness to it, but it still kind of like plays a little more into the grunge aspect. I fuck with like the tone of it. It's not very direct, again. Like there's a lot of ambiguity written in a lot of these things. But like, again, that's never a bad thing if you're going for like tone and universal play and stuff like that. Those are all dope things. And because I like that track, let's jump in and see if we can... Oh, let me say... Hey, I watched this on stream. Would like to cut it into a video. All right, dude. Let's get into Existential Crisis Engine's catalog. See what we're working with here. I kind of fuck with it because like an existential crisis is like literally like what 90% of my songs are about, dude. You know what I mean? So like, I'm here for that. He's actually already gotten 13 people to redo his thing. Let's see what his. I write techno-dadaist poems and songs about did, OCD, chatbots, LLMs, LLM human dynamics, internet addiction, the English language projection, art or cultural history, and media observations. I also make schlock and too many songs about colors. These works are offered as deeply curt and presental pieces. They should be viewed as both artifice and meta commentary on AI and artistic and relational applications. Chat boxes, AIs, and LMs are not sentient, but in these songs, they sometimes take the perspective of a person or LLM. These concepts may be challenging for some, but please bear in mind that everything on this page should be regarded as fiction and novelty. When reality is presented as optional, I lean in these works as presented as a mix of both human and LLM output. Okay, so he probably uses a lot of AI, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's take a look, dude. He's got a handful of voices. Rage of Achilles. Okay, well, I'm already sold because that's a. Arrow of Paris. Oh, is this what kills Achilles? Hold on. All right, let's dive into it, bro. This is probably like the thing I pretend to be. You know what I mean? Let's see how dope this dude is.
Walk down the mountainside with my sheep every morning. Check lambs for fly strike and graze them among the shale. Rumors of a lost prince dogging my heels like soft wolves. And with my sheep every morning I walk down the mountainside. Lightning descended and asked me to choose.
So there's a lot of allegory here with the one apple and tied to like Christian orthodoxy. But also this is probably ripped from like, I think the Book of Troy or Odysseus's stuff, the Iliad or whatever. Like these are actual stories that have been written that have a lot of heavy metaphors and themes already in them. But I do like that it says, "Dog my heels, rumors of a lost prince." I could be mistaken. I'm not that great on like ancient Greece shit. I have ideas, themes, and like loosely know things. But if I sat here and told you I read the Iliad front to cover, I would be lying to you. I have read a chunk of it, but that doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? And I think I read the Odyssey more than I read the Iliad. Which I believe are two separate works, but I think they're all a part of Homer's total fucking body of work. But I believe they come after one another, I believe. Now, I believe Odysseus goes to the Battle of Troy with Achilles, and Achilles dies at the Battle of Troy by being pierced by an arrow shot by Paris, who is probably the lost prince here, who actually fires that arrow and kills Achilles by shooting him in the one place that he doesn't have invulnerability, when he was dipped into the cauldron by his mom, because in order to like not let him kill him, she had to hold him somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's where the term Achilles heels comes from. So it's cool that there's like a lot of light motifs working already towards the kill shot to Achilles. Like the rumors of the lost prince dogged my heels. Well, your Achilles heel is in your heel. Like that's already pretty cool. You know what I mean? And I think the Battle of Troy was like the battleground of the gods. Like the gods were a lot more in it than like the Brad Pitt version that came out that ultimately, unfortunately, flopped despite having a really cool battle between Brad Pitt and the guy who plays Hector, whose name I can't remember. I think it was Batman, wasn't it?
And
No, it
asked me
wasn't.
to choose. I walk down the mountainside every morning, dug my heels in shale. 3 women, 1 apple, a collapsing choice.
I think the 3 women are the 3 witches that control the strands of. Is it hair? It's supposed to be the strand of time. Like Hercules kind of mentions them, the one that the Disney one that has the 3 witches that share the one eye. Um, Hell, even fucking Dark Souls 2 mentions these things. And they've been reused many times in tropes, but I believe the 3 women's are the ones that like can read fate. If I'm not mistaken, but I could totally be wrong.
They say Troy will be undone by a madman. Rumors of a hidden prince dog my heels like soft wolves. 3 women, 1 apple, 1 choice. Lightning descended and asked me to choose a collapsing choice.
It's definitely got like that Irish folklore feel. You know what I mean? Let's see.
A collapsing choice that says Troy will be undone by wisdom or power. You offered me a target, and I hit.
Yeah, like this song definitely wouldn't make a playlist for me to rock out to. But it definitely would fit like a. I could picture this being played like in a bar during like a D&D campaign, or setting the tone, or like a mythical backdrop, or like just someone just fucking slaying on a lute, dude. This is more of a piece you sit down with and really try to dig into, versus one that you just turn on and enjoy. Very sick, dude. Like, say what you will, man. Philosophy and like these old stories and all that stuff that like color our modern world, I feel like are very cool themes that I wish more people would get into. There are a lot of people that make songs about being warriors on Suno. Like, there's no short supply of a guy talking about, um, you know, there's no short supply of a guy pretending like he's done the impossible and he's had his Goku moment. And he locks the fuck in. You know, that happens a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us overplay, you know, that shit way too, like I do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, I did have somewhat of a warrior's past, you know, like a bad kid, got locked up, got sent to a crazy kid school. You know, I had to learn restraint and self-control and, you know, not necessarily taking my anger out on the world around me. So like, I feel like I have a little bit of like a, hey man, I could talk about these things. But I imagine everyone has that like thing in their head, you know? Some people overcame violence, their parents abused them. It gives them a really good understanding of like writing about self-control and not mimicking the people that probably perpetuated the abuse they felt, you know? Like, so like there's a lot of people that talk about it, and I'm not here to say that like unless you've lived the exact life of a warrior you can't talk about. That's not what I'm saying. But like we romanticize the warrior element of what it means to don armor, to pick up a sword. Like, and it's a thing that men do frequently. We romanticize the battle with the beast and overcoming those things. And, you know, we tell young men that they have to do that. And it's fine. And I'm all about that. But we also need to tell those same young men that that also means that that also comes with responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be a warrior all the time. Sometimes you have to know when to put down the sword, when it's time to be a diplomat, when it's time to be a poet, when it's time to be a body of more than just I smash thing because I am mad. Like, the grace of a warrior is like every culture has had different opinions on this, but by and large, warriors are often defenders. Knights were supposed to defend the weak. Chivalry is at the core of their code. The warrior class of Japan, they had the samurai. The samurai had the code of Bushido, so people wouldn't use the things they learned with a sword to like essentially domineer peasants' lives. A lot of people like to look back at history and then say a lot of crazy things, but by and large, a lot of houses were built upon defending peasants and the working class, and if like bandits would gather around and they attack the nobility at the time would attack people, like the warrior class defended these people. Yeah, was there class differences and was there struggle? Yeah, was there oppression in yes. But that's not what the warrior class was about. The warrior class was about defending people. A lot of people love the image of a warrior, but they don't like the weight and responsibility of what that mantle means. So they're a lot of them are just fucking posers that throw it out there so like they can, yeah, man, I'm fighting a good fight. And then like when you talk with them, they're like, I don't give a fuck bitches. And you're like, well, what are you doing? That's what the fuck? What do you mean you don't like? It's just crazy to me that like they'll don the cool elements of the warrior. They'll talk about stoicism in a way that's all cool and self-empowering. But when it comes time for the restraint part of these things, they are woefully lacking in that regard. You know what I mean? Overcoming any trauma or just things is hard, and I respect anyone who had lived and not let their past control. Exactly, dude. Overcoming shit. Like, and also though, like sometimes we sell fake messages. Like I overcame this and therefore I am now immune to it. That's not, no. It's a constant vigil. You know what I mean? Like you're constantly working at a thing. It's just people don't grip it. You know what I'm saying? They don't grip it and rip it. All right, let's go back to the playlist and see if we can find something else to rock. I've actually probably never done a T Raven song by itself. I did listen to one on Adalta's page. But I didn't listen. I haven't done it on their individual thing. So let's see what we're working with here.
Whenever you call, I'll be right where you are. Running from the scars, but they follow too far. Shadows on my skin, voices in the dark.
All right, let's talk about just the cadence already. The cadence here is already sublime. There's not like, the writing here is actually very poor graphically. Like, there's no periods, there's none of that. But like, none of that matters. Like, the delivery here is matching exactly what he's typing. Like, yeah, there's like not a period here, there's no commas, and yet somehow, despite not giving it good direction, it's got this flow fucking down packed, bro. What the fuck? Like, bro, if I wrote something like this, Suno would fuck this up so hard, dude. What the fuck? Did he make the, yeah, with 5.5? Like, but like, even when we talk about it, I'll be right where you are, running from the scars, but they follow too far. That by itself is like one sentence, but that has like such a tremendous, easy cadence of flow. It sounds more like dialogue heavy than like surgical. It's more, it's got a more natural cadence and a more natural rhythm to it. And that's why it probably comes off so smoothly. I'm surprised the AI was able to do that without like direct control. Like, I swear to God, if I don't put the right period in a certain place, my AI model just fucking full sends it, bro.
Voices in the dark, in my thoughts, falling all apart. Lost but still I breathe, trying to believe, fighting just to feel something that is real.
Like, it's a very smooth rhyme. There's enough space in between each hit of the rhyme to like give it a stronger emphasis. None of the rhymes are like complex per se. They're not like changing the definition of rhyme and wordplay. Matter of fact, they're quite simple in what they're doing, but they carry such a resonant theme through 3 lines. Essentially, this is literally 3 sentences, but it comes off with such a smooth, silky flow. And even when he does the vocal shift into more of a singing voice, it doesn't lose the structure at all, which a lot of people, unfortunately, when their singing model takes over, however they worded it or phrased it or however Suno cut it, the singing model sometimes, again, doesn't pull off the rhymey part as well. But here, it's not losing any of it with the tone shift.
In my thoughts, falling all apart. Lost but still I breathe.
You know what I'm saying?
To believe, fighting just to feel something that
Yeah.
lost in the silence, searching for a sign. Fire in your eyes, burning into mine. Truth beneath the lies, buried in the pain. Shattered alibis, nothing feels the same.
Hey, see, that's cool, man. Using the word alibi right there is incredibly intentional. That is not a common word used by either AI models or even people in general. Using such a stark word at such a pivotal moment of describing something, the word alibi carries so much weight to it. One, we understand what alibi means immediately, a fabricated story. That's not what it means definitionally, but when someone has an alibi, that means they have something that's been fabricated, right? Now, that fabrication could be true, could be incorrect or whatever, but like that fabrication is now a tangible reality. If someone has an alibi, well, then it's almost concrete unless it can be punched holes through or like logically picked apart. A shattered alibi is one that has been proven to be lies. So there, he managed to call someone a liar without saying, you're a liar. That's a very complex thing to do. If you can paint effectively what a person is without the direct admission of what they are, it allows people to put things together in their own head in a way. It's like watching Perry Mason and not knowing who did the crime, but being able to parse it all together so you can figure out, oh, that guy did it, and this is how he did it. If you can get to the conclusion before the end of the episode, you have been paying the fucking attention. Because the show goes out of its way to explain who did it, why they, if they don't just outright show you, but like they explain who did it, why they did it, and then you get to uncover this with Perry Mason, and there are times you beat him to the punch, you know what I mean? Being able to infer these things with smart wordplay is a correct way for people to come to conclusions without you like, hey, motherfucker, here's the conclusion. Here's what I'm trying to say, which like sometimes I feel like you have to do because like especially when songs are so dense or fucking trying to push boundaries on rhyme schemes or thought or just weird wordplay. Sometimes you just have to like, I'm mad now. You know what I mean? But sometimes there are smart, creative ways to express that emotion that allow people to jump on board with your journey without you having to do extra legwork. In writing, we often, or film or cinema, we often call this like respecting the audience. Respecting the audience to follow along, not hand-holding. We know this in video games. If you ever log in and it's like, this is how you walk. Press forward on your like, dog, I've played video games. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't even know how to tell me how button combinations work. Like, what are the special moves? Like, walking and aiming, most people know if you, some of that is carried over from other games. But like so many games treat you like you literally don't know how to breathe. You know what I mean? So in a song, being able to respect the audience and using a word like alibi that doesn't fit into any LLM and doesn't fit into any typical mold of rhyme schemes does a lot of heavy lifting. 1, it tells you it's a lie. 2, it's abstract and it's different. 3, now you're listening for more clues throughout the song. It's very smart. This is very good writing. This is the opposite of being hyper universal. The word alibi forces you to zoom in and go, what the fuck is he about to talk about? And am I getting, you know what I mean? Like, that's an intentional usage. This is like the opposite of what I was talking about before. This is strong writing that's trying to abstract in a way that forces you to think. It demands you to go, whoa.
Nothing feels the same. Lost in the silence, searching for a sign. Fire in your eyes, burning into mine. Truth beneath the lies, buried in the pain. Shattered alibis, nothing feels the same. Every word you said haunts me in my sleep. Love we couldn't keep cuts me way too deep. I don't know why I can't feel the spark. I don't know why.
Okay, we're hitting some AI lines here. I can't feel the spark. It does work. Like if it's like a lost love type of thing, like, you know, the spark could be fading, it could be disappearing, you know. That's some argue that's what true love is. Like when the spark of a new relationship is gone, what are the things you cling to? And if you can't answer that question, then oof, you know what I mean? Like that you're cooked, you know? Luckily, I always try to be funny. So like I always have humor that, you know, people can cling to. At least he's funny. You know what I mean? Sheesh.
Spark, I don't know why I'm lost in the dark. I don't know why I still hear your voice, even through the noise, even through the void. I don't know why.
Now, this could be my own personal remedy for getting lost in the dark. And it could just be a big cope. You know, there's always possible that I'm just coping in life. One of the ways that I've looked at the world is that we're just always in the dark. Every one of us is just lost, blind, hungry, confused. We don't know shit. The world doesn't understand shit. And we just, suffering is a constant, suffering carries a constant vigil over mankind. That we just always exist in primordial darkness and it just doesn't go anywhere. And then because of that, when I have moments of darkness, I'm like, oh, this is just the norm. I'm back to default. There we go. But like some people hear that and they go, oh my God, that's so depressing. And it's like, well, not really. Because that means when there are moments of brevity, of light, of clarity, those things shine the brightest. Like they're so powerful that they leave like a radiant ray or everlasting effect on you as a person. Like I can remember all of the moments where I was like, whoa, the world is decent because I saw decent shit happen. I saw someone stand up for the other side. I saw someone put their shit aside for the greater good. I saw someone sacrifice for something bigger than themselves. Those are moments that where like, no matter how dark the world is, those moments shine through. And the quiet miracles of everyday life prove this. We are currently alive right now, living in a system that allows us to speak freely, to think of our own accord, that doesn't force us into crazy binaries or boxes. And yeah, that society needs work. And sometimes things corrupt too far or things tilt too far on one particular axiom. And, you know, you could just look at the last 100 years as an example. Like, it took a bloody fight to give women rights, and it shouldn't have been that fucking hard. It shouldn't have taken that kind of fucking work. Like, my God, so many people stood in the way of that for some reason, like, I can't think of like a life of me as why. But then after that, we try to rewrite all of that history in terrible ways that just is more damaging than it is honest. Things happened through time, not because everyone were malicious actors and trying to destroy the world. Things happened by a byproduct of happenstance. And then we built design and tradition off of that happenstance. And then we gave it names and faces and then called it a system that placated, like, controlled our lives. That's not the same thing as like a system was born to subjugate this group of person or that group of person. But that doesn't mean that that system that was created didn't subjugate those people. Like liberalism and modern America did have slaves. We did have women that didn't have rights. Gay people couldn't get married until 2014. There is still so much work we have to do. Admitting what we've done well doesn't wash away the sins of, you know, what we did yesterday. We can be proud of positive changes and demand better ones. Fuck, man. We get so lost in this shit that like we just always victimize ourselves versus like looking at what we've done well, what we can continue to improve upon, and our moral oughts. But we live in a world where just so many people are so bent out of shape on a handful of object issues that like they literally stall progress. Like, think about how different our world would be right now if people didn't hate Kamala Harris because she was a woman. I'm not saying all of them, but there were some. Or some people that weren't brainwashed by the MAGA movement that would have voted for Harris. Do you think our tariffs would be as high? Do you think we'd be at war right now with Iran? Do you think that we'd be quagmired in the Middle East right now while we're doing another in this? Do you think that Iran would be as powerful as it is right now? You don't think that we would have propaganda people going on talking about like how we've destroyed Iran's navy? When the fuck has Iran's navy ever been a particular issue for us? We were never stopping Iran from having a navy. We were trying to stop them from getting nuclear weapons. What? Like, what? Oh my God. God damn, bro. God damn. All right.
Even through the void, I don't know why I can't let it die. Your touch in the night breaks me every time. Oh, it became fading into gray. All the mistakes we can't wash away.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm drowning.
So if you always view the world as constant death and destruction, when you see the opposite, it's easier to value those things more. And it's easier to grab onto those things and be like, yes, that's what I'm working for. This way, if you already view the world as a dark place, when you get lost in the dark, you don't be like, oh no, I'm new to this, I'm scared. You're like, oh, this is the natural state. And we want to do everything we can to get out of this. So let's work with people. Let's find people. Let's make allies. Let's build coalitions. Let's work with people. Because if I can't, like, if sitting in constant darkness by yourself causes you pain, you have to find a way out of that pain.
Regret, try to just forget, but I'm not over it. Lost in the silence, searching for a sign. Fire in your eyes, burning into mine. Truth beneath the lies, buried in the pain. Shattered alibis, nothing feels the same. Lost in the silence, searching for a sign. Fire in your eyes, burning into mine. Truth beneath the lies, buried in the pain. Shattered alibis, nothing feels the same.
Yeah, bro, this is sick. Yeah, I remember I commented, I was like, dude, the artwork in this is fire, dude. I think I've been liking T. Raven's. I didn't know he was part of Pro's community at first. Because I think he's even in my homies volume 1. Rush Burton. We got some more Dumbstruck in here. Almost Fix. I really liked New Guy's stuff. You know what? Since we're talking about some existential stuff, let's go in here and get into one of Kia's songs. So Kia does this thing, and she's like the reason why we have the inspiration for Lost and Found. So my girlfriend is pretty wild because like she'll learn about a topic, and she'll learn about a topic. Like I'll cover the basics when I'm learning about a topic. What do they do? What do they want? Where are we going? What is the core value? After that, I don't really give a fuck. I unplug, you know what I mean? Unless like I know I have to debate someone and then I have to learn about the bullshit they're going to say and think. But there's just too much time in the day to like fucking learn, you know? Like I don't need to worry about a bunch of quotes from older people and stuff. But my girlfriend gets really into the weeds. She dives into all of it. Like she'll go read, like she'll watch like 8 podcasts on a thing. She'll watch like a bunch of videos. She'll then go read all the quotes and like some of their most influential things. And she learns everything she can learn. And she'll do this mid conversation about literally anything. If you bring up a topic, next thing you know, you will have a follow-up conversation with how honest you were on. She'll get a report card. Like actually, well, I looked it up and this and this and this was wrong. And like sometimes she'll get like hyper like, well, the technical term for this is this, and you know, and it's like, okay, now we're just arguing semantics. What's the intent? You know what I mean? But like, she dives into a topic and she learns a lot about a topic, and then she often makes songs about the things she's like researching and learning, and which is super smart. Like, I wish more people would do stuff like that, which is why we started Lost and Found. Like I really wanted people like, let's make a topic, let's look into it, let's build a track around it. Even there, I found lazier ways out of doing it. Like, I'll just make the thing about me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, listen, hey, if it's not broken, don't. But like, it's cool to watch people like go out of their way to work on things that are outside of their comfort zone. There's like something unique about that. So I think she was learning about, fuck, dude. Not absurdism. Fuck, dude, there's another one. Nihilism. She was learning about nihilism. The pros and the cons about nihilism. And I always warn people, if you're going to dive into nihilism, be careful. If you're hyper-religious, nihilism is the type of thing that can lead you to suicide. It is one of the outcomes of nihilism. I know that sounds corny, but like, if you lose your meaning for life, like some people lose their will to live. Some people just disappear without their faith. Some people need faith. Some people just do not have the strength to do this shit on their own. 100%. And if you're someone who requires faith, don't look into nihilism. Stay the fuck away. But nihilism is the idea that like none of it matters. You're like, why are we here? Doesn't mean anything. What are we living for? Doesn't mean anything. The only meaning that matters is the meaning that you create. That's it. That's nihilism. Now, you can go way more complex. You can get way deeper into it. It has its own moral oughts. It's got its own fucking form of ethics that can like run, along nihilism and stuff like that. Because like a lot of people say I'm a contradiction because I believe in stoicism, but I believe in absurdism, which is an answer to nihilism, you know. Absurdism to me is the ultimate form of like, fuck it, just exist, you know. But nihilism is also like, because nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism all kind of answer the same questions. All kind of answer the same questions in the same way, but in a different context. The core tenet of nihilism, though, is to be present. Nietzsche inspired. Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Whenever you call, I'll be right with you.
Oh, what? Also, first line already, the stars don't look at the grand design. Yeah. That's one of the answers right there. Like, he has a full spectrum of ideas. Rude, dude. One of the things that I argue a lot with my girlfriend and the world at large is whether or not the universe is a chaotic force. I argue that the universe is chaotic, cold, and indifferent. There is no grand design to the universe for you. You might be a product of the universe's overall design, but it wasn't grand and it's not for you to interpret. You might just be a byproduct of the universe, living and existing and understanding what the universe is to some extent. But like all you are is an extension of the entity that created you, which is one of the weirder things I believe. Create your own meaning, not that none exist per se. Exactly. But like the universe, like there is no God, there are no stars, there's nothing watching your life to like weigh your right and from wrong. Okay, there's nothing evaluating your life other than the people around you. Now, that for me is good enough reason not to be a piece of shit, but for other people that's not enough. You know what I mean? They want a grand arbiter that like watches over.
The stars don't look down with a grand design. The clock on the wall doesn't measure divine.
I probably wouldn't say Jesus loves you, but hey, man, you can love Jesus.
Temples are quiet, the old gods are gone, and we're left awake in a cold, lonely dawn. They call it the void, say there's nothing to see, just a blank, empty canvas of reality.
That's such a smart line, dude. Because if there's nothing up there and there's nothing like judging your life, that means you can virtually do anything based off of your own morals and ethics, of course. And, you know, we should be doing things that better the world around us as much as possible. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't even see that light's purple, bro. That's wild, bro. Too much white light on it.
But the silence isn't a cage or a wall. It's the brisk air before the waterfall. 'Cause he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow.
True.
The meaning wasn't written in the sky. It's what you're forging right now. No absolute truth, no master plan, just the fire held in the palm of your hand. Yeah, he who has a why to live will find a way through the how.
That's a good answer too. Because like, see, one thing that Kia has always done well is she never disparages people. She always finds like the more empathetic way to say a thing. I'll just say, if you require a way to live, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Why the fuck do you need some divine purpose? What the fuck is that? But like, mine is very judgmental, very hard, very harsh. Here she says, he who has a why to live will find a way through the how. I think that's like a very big quote. I think even tied to Jung to some extent, written differently for like a better sonical texture. But like, how you define yourself is how you'll live yourself, or how you'll live. So if you put all these prerequisites upon yourself based off of some fucking Bible book written from 2,000 years ago, it's going to directly define how you live, and it's going to have an effect on how you live. And who knows if that's a positive or negative effect. Some people do really good with Christian orthodoxy, telling them right from wrong. But some people feel that that could be a very limiting principle. Like, there is negative stuff around being gay in the Bible, or not necessarily in the Bible, but in the teachings of those that believe in the Bible. So if you're gay, that means you're just automatically a sin to yourself and you should be ashamed of who you are despite being made by God? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So now I have a person that is does a bunch of self-hating for a thing that they have no control over by an entity that apparently controls all things, but like doesn't want people to be gay, but makes it as an option. This way, every time they choose to be gay, it's an automatic sin against them, and now they're in constant, like, they have constant torment with the religion that spawned them. Like, that doesn't sound like a good time. Some people can't exist in the vacuum of Christianity. You just can't do it. And also, like, some of their morality is entirely poisoned. You know what I mean? Like, there are lines in the Bible that say to love God over your loved ones. I'm sorry, dude. I'll never love another entity over my chosen family. Fuck you, and fuck any God that tells you that I have to do that. I have to love you more than my father. I have to love you more than my mother. I have to love you more than the person I choose to spend my life with for the rest of my life. I have to love you more than a fucking kid I chose to bear. That's not a type of relationship I want to be in with anybody. No one makes that demand of me. Not even the people that I love make that demand of me. Love is a constant choice between two people. You don't get to demand shit from me. And if I don't give you what you want, you're going to give me eternal suffering for all time? I've never heard a more ridiculous thing. I've never heard a more ridiculous thing in my life. And then they have the audacity to tell you, well, God loves you. I don't think you know what love is. What the fuck? There's a reason why people turn away from religion. Because it literally puts brother against brother. Like, it literally makes people that have no reason to have any ideological difference fight. One, because there's no proof for God. And they make you take such a crazy statement. And if you don't believe it, you're a zealot. You're a fucking, or not a zealot. You're what's the word I'm looking for, dude? They call you a blasphemer. Like, oh, you don't believe in God? Well, I mean, no evidence has been presented to me that God is correct. And no evidence has ever been concrete enough to, like, make me believe. So no, I don't believe in God. That's the devil. Really? Evidence? Asking for evidence is the devil. Like, fuck you, man. Some people can't exist under the dogmatic bullshit of religion. That same religion that's persecuted and killed millions of people on par with that of, like, communism. Like, if you're going to sit here and say communism is the greatest evil, I'll probably agree with you. Fuck communism. But you know what's also killed as many people as communism? Religion. Throughout all of time. Fuck. I can't think of a bigger killer than religion. Like, most wars were religious wars. Most wars throughout all of history. Like, dude, humans shouldn't judge these. Exactly, dude. What the fuck? Fuck that.
Fire held in the palm of your hand, yeah. He who has a why to live will find a way through the house. You see a mountain, I see a stair. You see a shadow, I see a prayer. Truth isn't a diamond locked in a chest. It's 1,000 prisms, a shift in requests.
Yeah.
Through the lens of the joyful, the eyes of the torn. Every perspective, a new world is born. So break the old tablets, let the dogmas dissolve. It's within our own chaos that we must evolve.
It's such a bummer because, like, Christianity is so popular, especially with the younger generation. All these young people are mind fucked themselves into believing in sky fairies. Is fucking wild, dude. Nick Fuentes and the Red Pill movement have been like, and Sneeko have been like the worst effect we've had on young men. Like, God, dude, I would kill for the days of Jordan Peterson again. Because at least he talked about responsibility. Fuck, dude. I mean, and he was never one of these psychopaths. But, like, perspective is so important. Like, one, I don't really believe in universal truths. Like, the term itself, I don't even like. For me, a universal truth means it needs to be truthful for all of time, universally. And we have no way to verify universal truths. Like, the closest thing we have to universal truth is that, like, math and gravity and stuff like that. But, like, I wouldn't necessarily say they're universal truths. I would say they're probably the truth. You know what I mean? But, like, so much of our own understanding can be shifted and formed around these things with new information. I'm pretty sure gravity will always be gravity, but we may not define gravity the same way in 100 years. It's true that that force will still be present there probably, but the how doesn't necessarily always, doesn't always stay the same. So I don't fuck with universal truths because they're just a dangerous way for people to stand on, like, more concrete stuff than is probably probable. No such thing as a perfect circle. Well, that's not true, bro. The band A Perfect Circle literally not joking. I'm joking, but that does exist, and it was a fire band. I don't necessarily know if I get behind absolute truths. Now, I think we have brute facts that we use all the time in science and stuff like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean we understand the how. And just because not understanding the how doesn't mean that, like, that truth doesn't exist still. Like, again, gravity would be, I'd probably consider a brute fact. We don't understand everything about gravity, but we understand more or less that gravity is there, more or less how it works, and more or less what it does. Gravity ideas change. Living things need water. Universal. I guess I don't necessarily know, though, if I agree with that being a universal truth. Because then, like, the how and like, what if we evolve in a way that doesn't need water? Like, is that a possibility? Again, I don't like the term universal just because it implies that it will be the same level of truth throughout all time. At least to me. Now, if you take that out of it, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily know, though. I don't really like universal truths because we don't have a way to measure that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have a way to verify that until time travel becomes an option, which will never happen because I don't think we could ever do that. I don't know if we could ever measure a universal truth as a universal truth, because then, like, it would have to be true throughout all time. But we have no understanding of that. But then again, that could just be me hanging on to a definition that just most people don't fuck with. I think that we have proximity to truth, and that, like, we have truth values. I think that to me is a more accurate depiction of, like, the word. You know what I mean? Like, I think we have proximity to, like, truth values, and how true a value is more dependent on, like, a bunch of data. The Earth goes around the sun, yeah, but what if, like, a comet comes in and knocks us out of that rotation? Then it's no longer true. Or what happens when the sun expands to the point where it destroys the Earth? I don't know. Like, I don't know to what degree if that's going to be true forever. You know what I mean? Like, what if a black hole comes in and starts sucking planets out, and, like, we're no longer rotating the sun? Like, what if a change causes something to happen to where I can't really call that a universal truth? I could say that's, like, the closest approximation to truth that we could manage without further verification. Because I would imagine that will happen until the end of time, until an external force changes that. But if an external force can change that, change is a universal? Yeah, but then we can't call that statement true. Like, universally true. We could call that statement true as is. But if it is subject to change, then it can't be a universal truth, could it? Because universal implies that it will always stay true. Right? I feel like that's just logically cohesive there. If something can change a universal truth, then it can't be that universal, right?
Boom, so break the old tablets, let the dogmas dissolve. It's within our own chaos that we must evolve. 'Cause he who has
I understand that change is a constant law, but I'm saying if something is a universal truth, then it can't be changed. So this is why I'm saying I don't think that there's such a thing as a universal truth. I think that we have the closest level of universal truth that we can manage, but I don't know if it's universal, because universal would imply that it lasts for all time. Or as long as the universe would, probably, I imagine.
Can bear almost anyhow. The meaning wasn't written in the sky. It's what you're forging right now.
True.
No absolute truth, no master plan, just the fire held in the palm of your hand. Yeah, he who has a why to live will find a way through the house. Don't turn your eyes from the weight of the night. The suffering's a hammer, it polishes lights.
The fact that you say things change, but then they say change isn't constant, contradicts itself. All language on this is going to contradict itself. I don't think we have a meaning to comprehend any of this. I'm just saying that the term universal truth, I don't think is a good term, because that would apply a universal element to it that would then have to apply throughout all time. But like, we're at the point now, we're just arguing semantics over nothing. I just don't think that the term universal truth should be used in conversation, because we have no merit or metric to evaluate those things. We should just talk in close approximation to truth.
Say a more party, let the history repeat. We'll dance on the ashes of bitter defeat. Write your own gospel, stand in your power. This is your kingdom, this is your hour. Look at the abyss and start to build a castle of mind, a promise fulfilled. He who has a why will bear the how. Yeah, we create the meaning now.
True. See, I don't have to tell my girlfriend that I reacted to it, because she's literally here. I'd be like, hey, I don't like universal truths because they're used in arguments all the time. They'll say it's a universal truth that there's men are men and women are women. And then now you're stuck going like, well, that's not a universal truth. And then now you're arguing like, it's like, dude, that's such a shitty argument. Like, men are men and women are women. What is a man and what is a woman? They're just descriptions or words that we've created to describe what we believe to be this thing. Like, there's no universal truth here being told. There's nothing like that. Like, these are just words that we have defined in ways to like relay information to a certain level of people. Like, there's no universal truth to speak of. There might be biological differences between men and women, but men and women are like a category that we've created that fit within certain parameters to call them a man and a woman based off of like certain genetic markers, or certain characteristics, or certain like levels of like hormones in the body. But these things don't really mean anything. Universal truths that have been used incorrectly of late? Well, of course, dude, because people hang on things that they don't have the merit to hang on. Like, it's not, people use like a 5th grade reading of biology to say, well, obviously there's no such thing as transgender people. And it's like, well, there's such a thing as them because we can literally see them and they exist right now. Like, what the fuck? Or they'll be like, oh, it's always a mental illness. It's like, I don't think you guys understand the attack vector that you're going through. Are you on medication for depression? Well, yeah, okay, then shut the fuck up. You have a mental illness. Why are you besmirching mental illnesses when, like, what the fuck? When, like, more than half of our country, more than half of them, or like 60% of them are, like, on medications for some mental deficiency, like, attacking mental illnesses to attack trans people is just like, what the fuck are you doing? What does your medication cabinet look like, asshole? Like, none of these people are making like compelling arguments in their assault on other people. And then they hide behind universal truths, like as like a be all end all, like, oh, you can't argue, it's a universal truth. It's like, that's not, I don't even agree that universal truths exist in the way that you're using that word. So no, that's not a good fucking, what the fuck? Like the way we define things have like certain things and like those truths might exist, but a definition isn't a universal truth. Like what the fuck? That's just how we defined it off of modern language to articulate the most information that we could on a given topic so that we could like say that this thing is this thing without saying this thing is this thing. Like it's not the same type of thing, man. And people hang on that shit like way too much. Even like AI, like depending on how you phrase a question to AI, the truth factor can change. Like if I were to sit here and tell you that Donald Trump tried to lead an insurrection against America on January 6th, I'm not lying. But like depending on how you word that question, that is different. Like some people will say it wasn't an insurrection because Donald Trump wasn't successful. He can't be a dictator because he didn't actually stop the votes. And yes, on a technical argument, that's true. Donald Trump didn't do an insurrection because it wasn't successful. But that doesn't mean that he didn't attempt an insurrection on January 6th with the fake electors plot that he sent in trying to get fake 6 states to like put fake electors on. That's not like the technical truth is, yeah, Donald Trump didn't do that because he wasn't successful. True statement. But the attempt was he did an insurrection against the states or the United States of America. He took 6 states of their right to vote and said, fuck what you picked. I'm picking for you. That is still an insurrection. Whether or not he was successful or not, the intent there to do harm happened. And it metastasized in an assault on January 6th where people were outside breaking windows, demanding the blood of people inside, saying they were going to hang and kill Mike Pence. There's video footage of the attacks. But because Tucker Carlson said a handful of people got let in and were led around by cops. Inside job. Like, holy fuck! People were charged with crimes. People admitted crimes. People pled guilty to crimes. Ugh. So yes, it is true that Donald Trump led an insurrection against the government. It is also true that Donald Trump was unsuccessful, so he can't be called an insurrectionist because he wasn't found guilty of it, because the sitting Senate that he stacked, by the way, said we're not going to pursue anything on Donald Trump because he's out of office. He was impeached for it, bros. But no one cares. No one looks at anything. They just say fake news, corrupt DOJ, corrupt this. They wash away the sins. They don't give a fuck. Truth values shift way too much on paradigms to play into particular narratives. When my side does something crazy, I complain about it. And I don't just when I come out to attack people on the left, I'll be like, "Were you defund the police?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." Like, that's fucking stupid. And here's why. I don't go, if someone says criticize the left, you know what I don't do? And I go, well, the left and right both do something wrong. The left and right, kind of mess up a little bit, but here's where the left really messed up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't equivocate. When my party does something fucking dumb, I call it out then and there. Because I want my party to not be dumb, and I don't want my party to lose. I'm not going to run defense for bad policy. I'm not going to run defense for bad decisions. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my God, my party's the best and they always do everything right. I'm not going to do that because that's fucking lying. Happy song next, because the last one was supposed to be positive. The last song was positive. I'm just talking about shit. I'm positive. I'm a positive boy. Sheesh. By the way, Blood on the Mic said that he's still writing that song, even though it won't be included in the video. I will still make a episode redux and then add it in. And then maybe even rerun the thing to see if it changed the ranking. Good. Yeah. And plus, dude, I don't know if I can do politics right now. I'm gonna just scroll YouTube real quick and see if there's anything short worth watching that won't ruin my life when I click it. Good Times, Bad Times, official audio. Starlight released a new song. Hell yeah, dude. Let's check that out here in a little bit. Fuck Pondering Politics. Number one Hassan hate watcher. What's up, dude? Oh, yeah, there's nothing in here, dude. Breaking news. Trump kicked Miller out. Fuck yes. I don't like that guy, though, so I don't want to watch that. I'm getting a lot of AI music up on here now, dude. Scott Jennings to replace Caroline Levitt. Bro, how many times does Adam Mockler have to fuck that dude in the ass before they realize that he's not good for your movement, dude? Jesus Christ. And dude, Andrew Wilson gets shut down in a debate. I'm fucking erect for that. Trump is invading Greenland. Oh my God, is that what? I hate Kyle Kalinske, dude. He always uses as visceral rhetoric as he can to spread out the most disgusting takes to like further indoctrinate his audience into being angrier than they should be. God damn it, bro. Ain't nothing on here worth watching, dude. Why would I listen to your opinion about being... You have 3 views. You know what? I'll watch it, dude. It's 2 minutes. Let's see what this man's got to say.
So you want to be a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer? Me too. I just started and I have been having a blast. If you think that you want to do this, I think you definitely should because it is so much fun. I love editing the videos. I love making the videos.
Jesus Christ, you love editing the videos? What the fuck? How do you love editing editing the videos is like an absolute fucking nightmare. Like whenever I have to make one of my videos for one of our conversations, it takes an hour. Like an hour conversation takes like 6 hours for my computer to render it. Editing the videos is like the one thing that I wish I had enough money to pay someone to do for me. Because fuck, man. It's so hard, dude. I hate it so much.
The videos, I love making the videos. I love working on my Streamlabs overlays. I love getting together all of my graphics and all of everything that goes into it. I've just been having a blast.
What? Like those are all the worst parts of the job, man. What? All right.
All of everything that goes into it. I've just been having a blast. So anyhow, on Twitch, I've been streaming, and I have been finding these people that have been coming up to me in the virtual world. You know, they come to my page and they sit there for a minute, and then they comment and they ask if I want to play with them. Hey, do you want to run some rounds sometime? And I say, yeah, sure. And so they get my.
All right, rule 1. Don't ever do that. If you found someone to watch your content, leave them as a watcher. As soon as you start playing with people, they're no longer watching. Now, granted, yes, you want to have a group of people you play with and you want to build that community, but don't lose watchers in the process. You know, I learned this a long time ago when I was doing content back in the day for League of Legends. I'd stream all the time on Twitch. I'd get like 5 or 7 people in there. You know, it was a good time, but I kept playing games with the people watching, and then eventually I had no one to watch. You know what I mean? They were all in the lobby. And, you know, now I'm fucked because everyone's now playing the game. They're not watching the content. If I do get an ad, I don't get shit for it because it's fucking muted so they can pay attention to the game, you know?
Discord, and then they hit me up on Discord and they want to bring me into their program always. This has happened several times now. Now this program,
yeah, Discord is always going to be full of like on Wattpad it happens, on Suno it happens, on every platform. Like it happens on Twitter. I still get messages from girls pretending to be porn stars so they can like, do you like my picture? Where are you from? And I'm like, my name is Albert Wesker and I'm releasing a zombie virus. Like, you just fuck with them. But like, if someone is trying to pull you from your platform that you're currently on to have conversations with them without doing any like getting to know you or anything like that, it's always a bot. Always. Assume it's a bot. Don't join their communities. Don't go. Yes, you want to be seen. You want to be heard. You want more viewers. Be careful where you go and what you click, man. Especially on Discord. So many Discords are full of pure degenerates that are doing harmful shit to every ecosystem they touch. And Discord is working on it, by the way, but like it's a hard process.
Now, this program is going to get me all of these views and all of these subscribers, and it's going to make me money. And so it's like, don't you want to be a part of this? You know, that's the approach they take. Like, you don't want to miss out on that, do you? And for me, I want to build an organic following. Now, I don't know if there's anything to this network of people. Maybe they do all just kind of sit around in each other's rooms. I don't know how it works, but it doesn't sound honest to me.
True.
And I just want to, I wanted to put this video out to tell people to be weary of anybody that's pretending to be your friend on here, because a lot of times they want something from you. And so don't let anybody get too close. Keep your distance.
Well, that being said, anytime you're making content on YouTube, everyone you interact with wants something from you. Your watchers want someone that's entertaining. They want something to like give them some kind of valuetainment for what they're doing, for what they're clicking on, and what they're there for. Every person you work with, every person you do a song with, every person you game with, they're looking to build their audience. Like that's just the thing you have to understand. You have to look at the transactional values of these things. But like if you're joining a network of people that are trying to like force themselves on people desperate and hungry for any type of attention in this sphere so they might be able to build a job or a career out of it. Look, man, I've been doing this for 12 years. Like I've been in and out of circles my entire life. Right now I'm going through a massive dead zone because of the new algorithm has essentially killed my channel. And like, it's also my own laziness and my own ability to put different content out there, to not get out there and record like doper scenes and like, my editing is subpar 100%. Like all of these things have a negative impact on the channel outside of just the algorithm. And like, you have to start taking some kind of accountability for what you put out there. Now, every person you interact with on this platform will have some form of like a transactional reaction to it or a transactional level to it. But that doesn't mean you can undersell like the intentions of people that you're interacting with, and you shouldn't treat them differently just because, there might be something to gain or something to lose with this interaction. You should always just do what you think is best and hope for the best, but always put your best foot forward and explain your position as often as frequently as possible so people know where you're coming from. But be careful with joining in these shady organizations that seem to give you a bunch of promises that they just really can't fulfill. There are platforms out there that can have a positive effect for you, but a lot of these platforms, they might give you access to a few bots or something that might come and view your stuff. As shallow as it sounds, sometimes watching your own content helps the algorithm just a little bit. Every like, every comment, every time someone interacts with your stuff, it does help it. But you always want to make sure that you're building towards a more organic base rather than like an artificial one. Because ad revenue and all that stuff does not placate well when like people aren't clicking things off your profile or, anything like that. Like if you want to make money on this platform, which I've only done very briefly and very shortly, essentially you have to be releasing content that people want, that people like, and that actually has a genuine interest in it. And if you fail to live up to those standards, the algorithm will know and it will cut you out immediately. Because if they don't click the next video, you've done something wrong. Whether that's true or not, it just means you might have done a different style of content, whatever, bro.
Keep your distance. I what does he say? I respect you, but I value your distance. So yeah, no, it is. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to get your videos out there and to have your stuff on a live stream. It has a whole level of excitement to things, but just be careful out there. All right. I hope you have a good one. Peace. I'm out of here.
Good shit, man. Hey, as a YouTuber for 12 years. Every way. I'll tell you what, man. I probably won't watch your content, so this is just for your algorithm. But I mean, you might even play shit games. I'll try subscribing, dude. What do you play, bro? I mean, he's actually releasing like that's cool. He's doing pretty decent stuff here. Okay. I mean, they're all games I don't fucking like, but you know, hell yeah, dude. Some of these aren't like just pure shit or slop. Okay. His thumbnail game is way better than mine, I'll tell you that much. Maybe he does enjoy that shit. I do not, dude. Fuck, I hate it. All right. I guess Oh, look at that, dude. What's his name is commenting on Destiny stuff again. Good job. I mean, he's getting more views than me, bro. He got 400 views, dude. I get like 8 now, man. Sheesh. It's been a while since we've done some Destiny slop, dude. Let's get into it.
And this guy, like,
I will say before we watch this, I don't fuck with the DSA. And I am one of the few liberals that stand with Wick and Destiny. I would love to get into like Wick's like little liberal thing, man. That's fucking awesome. Anyone who wants to defend liberalism, you see Discord? I have not seen Discord. What is in Discord? Oh. Oh, I was traveling. Yeah, fucking Steve, dude. All right. I will say I am a staunch liberal guy. And like let's be real. In 2016, I was a Bernie supporter, all right? And I'll tell you my little thing before we watch Destiny, okay? In 2016, I was a Bernie guy. I voted in that election for Harambe. I set out of that election because I fucking hated Hillary Clinton. She hated on video games while she worked for Bush. And she said, like, video games make you as violent as lead exposure does. And for me, that was a disqualifying statement to lie so blatantly with zero evidence. And then, you know, she just did really bad on the debate stage. Even though she was my favorite out of Trump, I would not vote for Hillary Clinton. I said that her animosity towards video games was enough for me to write her off entirely, and I put my desire to not have bans on video games over a healthier thing. The crazy thing is that Hillary Clinton wasn't running on banning video games. I just took a single statement from her and said that that was enough for me to not justify supporting her in a presidential election. And after seeing what I used to believe was Bernie getting snubbed by the establishment, I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm not supporting the Democratic ticket. I'm going to vote for Harambe. Donald Trump won't win. And by the way, while I was living in Ohio, dog, you know what I mean? A swing state, my dude. Donald Trump won 2016. I felt like a total fucking dumbass. Now, granted, she worked for Obama, not Bush. Oh, I thought she was Secretary of State for Obama. She didn't do something for Bush? I thought she did something for Bush. I thought she was she might have been a senator when Bush was in office. That might be when she said the crazy shit. Because this was around 2007, 2006 when she came out and said that wild shit. So I think she was a senator. So you're right. She wasn't working for Bush at the time. But she was working for the establishment. Like, you know, she was a senator for the United States government while Bush was president. I think it was. I could be wrong. It might have been. I think it was senator. Because I remember people calling her senator most of my life. Senator Clinton or whatever. Anyway, she made that crazy statement. And I was like, you know what? I'm never going to vote for her. So I set out that election. I felt really bad. She lost. She got 3 million more votes than Trump, but Trump won enough of the fucking electoral college shit that it thrust him into power. And we had years of Trump. A lot of people lie about a lot of things. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be brutally honest here with you, okay? When Trump was in office, I fucking hated him. His Muslim ban, morally disgusting. By 2018, when he did the farm bill, I started warming up to him a little bit. I started seeing the constant attacks from the media, and I started buying into his bullshit. That like Russian gate, like it was all propaganda. I started feeling like TDS was real, and I watched the Democrats lose their mind. Because I wasn't paying attention to the news, I wasn't following anything. All I got was Trump's opinion on these things. And I slowly got to like buy in more and more to like Trump being okay by the time 2019 rolled around. When 2020 happened, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Biden. But what I will say is I was a lot more on Trump's side than most people are willing to admit. Like, I was like, yeah, Trump is sticking it to the establishment media. I was watching Joe Rogan every day. I thought it was entirely based that he was making people sweat. I even defended how he did COVID. I liked the fact that he left it up to state rights. I loved his vaccine thing. I thought all that was really cool. I was more or less like not on Trump's side, but like I'd be like, yeah, he's sticking it to the establishment. You know what I mean? I would defend that aspect of Trump. And in 2020, I was like, oh, he didn't lead an insurrection. This is fucking why is anyone pinning this on Trump? I didn't know of like so much of what Donald Trump did. All I knew was Donald Trump's perspective because everyone would blast Donald Trump's perspective nonstop. It wasn't until I went and actually read the indictments on the people on January 6th. It wasn't until I went and actually like read what Donald Trump did behind the scenes. I looked into the fake electors plot. It wasn't until I knew all of these things that like I had this like crystallization moment. Halfway through Biden's presidency, it dawned on me. Like I was starting to watch red pill shit. I like Andrew Tate was a super huge, like I was watching these content creators and they would just be like super sexist to women. And I'd be like, this isn't what I'm about. Why can I just get like some male motivation for depression and like finding yourself and being like without all of the constant, like, I want to fuck as many bitches as I want. And like, eventually I hit a critical point where I was just like, this isn't working. You know what I mean? Like this message is just now becoming purely toxic. The underlying principle that some of these things that could be good for young men are now being so washed over by the insanity. Like it wasn't around it halfway through 2020 or 2022 or whatever. That's when Biden started pushing some of these things. And remember, I was super against Biden at the time. Like, you know, I voted for him and then he was like, I'm going to do the OSHA mandates. I lost my job over that. You know what I mean? Like I literally lost a job where I was making over $100,000 a year because of President Biden. I have every reason to fucking hate that son of a bitch. And I don't. Because the things he did for my country while in office with bipartisan bills fucking were tremendous. And they worked in such great ways that like it slowly pulled us out of a crazy recession due and brought on to overspending before COVID and then the things that we did during COVID, which I'm glad we did because people needed relief. You know what I mean? But like all of that money started negatively impacting people, but all of the moves that Biden were doing were so fucking awesome and so good and helped out so many people. Like halfway through Biden's presidency, he won me over. And I was a guy that would joke around of him being a pedophile in like these crazy circles. It wasn't until watching Destiny pull me from the brink of falling into these red pill circles, because like he was the only one who would defend Kyle Kalinske. Or not Kyle Kalinske, Kyle Rittenhouse. Fuck Kyle Kalinske. Like, he was the only one. So when Destiny started entering these red pill spaces, before I got, like, sucked into this crazy fucking world, like, here was a man defending feminism in a smart, elegant way. Not being blasted out because, you know, Steven Crowder or fucking Charlie Kirk aren't picking the biggest dumbasses to own on public campuses. Here we have someone that's combative, willing to defend the things that liberalism has done, talk positively about the pros and cons, willing to bite a bullet on his side, doesn't hide from these. Like, as soon as I saw this shit, I was like, thank God. There's a path for the left to not be insane. Now we're back in a civil war for which direction we want the left to go into. And I am more of the side that liberals need to start standing on liberal values above all else. And the DSA types and the populist types that are trying to cuck us into a shitty position and make us no different than MAGA, I do not consider them my allies. I went down the path of like you know, putting my feelings above elections. I won't do that ever again. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to support liberalism, a free market, and I'm going to support, you know, the ability for people to, you know, live the best life they can live without aggressing on other people. And for that alone, I have to stand against the far overreaches of the far socialism and communism. And my big problem is a lot of the actors that I used to respect that were still socialist, like Bernie Sanders and AOC, sometimes they keep doing things that, like, why do you keep working with Hassan? Hassan is literally a terrorist supporter. When terrorist attacks happen, he parades them around as big successes against the controlling settlers. Like, I'm not going to be a part of a party that is going to be cozy with someone who cheers on death for fun. Like, that's not something that I want. We can't let the commies win. Exactly, dude. We can't. I can't. Now, that doesn't mean I want to jump hand in hand with, like, Republicans, because I think a lot of what Republicans want is, you know, gross. But, like, I will not support the DSA. So I'm here for this fight. I want us to be on some kind of, like, solidarity of, like, working towards, like, liberal values. Now, I'm not saying that we can't work on, like, healthcare. Well, fuck yeah, we need to work on healthcare. We have to work on affordability. We have to work on housing. But, like, we don't have to do it by completely removing capitalism from the market. Like, what the fuck? Like, so I'm here for this. Oh, hold on. You can't see that side, so we need to, whoa. So let's cut this out a little bit so it looks a little bit better for you. And there's a little bit more over here, so we can probably squeeze that in. All right, man, let's see what the fucking Nepo baby, multi-millionaire, dick suck, fake communist, champagne socialist has to say.
Who's the bad? The
What?
streamer that you, the evil version of you? Like the
Bad?
Oh my god. Has Hassan talked about me so, like, behind the scenes? And then
The evil version of Hassan. Hassan is the evil version of Hassan, dude. That guy is literally fucking unhinged. Takes them off at the end of the day before throwing them in the hampers. Yeah, dude. Like, what a fucking... Like, if liberalism is about to defend itself against the DSA, I want in on this fight. Where do I sign up, bro?
this guy, like, it's like, oh my, obsessed,
like,
bro.
what are you doing, man?
Obsessed, bro.
Oh, bad empanada?
no.
Oh, you were talking about Sex Destiny?
Yes.
Sex
Yes, dude. So again, he's doing the fucking MAGA movement. Whenever Donald Trump talks about someone they don't like, what do? He gives them a nickname. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally MAGA Handbook 101. Never address the individual, never address the individual's claims, never put the person in a positive spin whatsoever. It always has to be he's a sex pest or he's this or this is leftist shit 101. You disagree with me, you're racist. You disagree with me, you're homophobic. Bro, there are homophobes and racists out there. I am not one of them. I don't have a problem with gay guys whatsoever. Do I not like the tone sometimes in which they speak? Sure. Outside of that, no. I literally have slept with men. So I'm not a homophobe. What the fuck? What? Like, me asking clarifying questions doesn't mean anything. What the fuck? Like, bro.
Destiny.
Yes.
Oh.
There are no young people.
Serious?
Because I think it was a few years ago that he had some org or some.
I thought socialism would be packaged more kindly and pleasant. You would think it would need to, because, like, that's the whole point of socialism, right? We're supposed to appeal to the working class, the middle class, the labor class. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to give them what they want. But, like, when we're doing that, we just, like, if you're a liberal, you're a fascist. Like, what the fuck kind of world do we live in? All right. Or pocket fascist, or hiding your power level fascism.
Yes.
Sex Destiny.
Yes.
Oh.
There are no young people.
Serious?
Because I think it was a few years ago that he had some org or some functionary, and it's
No,
just
he
like
still he keeps creating like new shell orgs to make it look like.
So now we have to do essentially the Israel talking point. Like, this guy's creating shell organizations to make it seem like he has any impact on, like, any type of political. Like, dude, DGG went door to door and door knocked for multiple candidates whose names I can't fucking remember. but like he literally had an impact. Like, dude, the people of the like the event, like had to literally call out DGG for how hard they worked for them. Like I was watching Destiny at the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's on camera, dude. It's on 4K. Jesus fuck, dude.
No, he still he keeps creating like new shell orgs to make it look like it's like a canvas operation, but then all they do is just tweet about me.
I remember not.
They literally went door to door and like worked with Progressive Victory to get people elected, progressives elected, and they paid out of pocket. Like there were debates at the time that Destiny would go do with these things. Like his community got hyper involved. We don't just sit around. Like, bro, I barely post about this fucking troglodyte. I talk about him a lot when I'm talking about politics because he's the most popular left-wing streamer. But like, dude, little gup, no one knows who the fuck you are. Like, what was it? 60% of people don't know who the fuck you are? Like, dude, you are forcing yourself in the public sphere. And by doing so, you present people to talk. Like, after I make this video, if people make anti-Hassan videos, I don't get to complain that people are attacking me because, like, I made a video about Hassan. I stepped into that arena. I take whatever, and it's a guy with like 2 million fucking subscribers and shit. Like, of course I'm gonna take some fucking blowback. Anytime I made a video against Asmongold, I got a lot of hate comments in that. It's just the way it works. I make a video talking shit about Tom McDonald. I take hits in the comments. This is how it works. What the fuck? You put yourself in the public sphere, people are gonna comment on what you fucking say and do. Holy fuck, dude. What a snowflake.
Shell orgs to make it look like it's like a canvas operation, but then all they do is just tweet about me.
I remember not.
They don't do any phone bangs. They don't do any door knocking operations at all.
Lie.
It's just like.
By the way, is there a single video anywhere of Hassan's like audience out like phone banging or door knocking? You know that like the funny thing is he doesn't actually do any of this. He keeps saying it, but one thing that he's done a really good job at is he's a leech right now on the DSA, which is a leech on the Democratic Party. He shows up at DSA events and he's like, "Oh, look at all the work we're doing, guys! Look at how good we're doing." He's not the one organizing. I don't know how much if he's mobilized any of his audience doing any of this fucking shit. He's cringe.
This hate.
It's just like constantly tweeting.
That's lame. They should show. Like, Destiny has the clips, man. They should just show, like, the guy from Progressive Victory, like, giving him his flowers. You know what I mean? Like, because then the next year, Progressive Victory worked with Hassan, and they got fucking destroyed because Hassan doesn't advocate his audience to do shit. They just run hate brigades on people. It's fucking crazy. Whoops.
About me for some weird reason. I'm sure there's money for that though, because like it's clear that there are a lot of big donors.
Totally true.
That donate to both, suspiciously to both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party.
That happen to. We got to get like remember these are the guys like you can never swing left, but every opportunity they get to swing inward to the inner left, they will do it. They will attack you viciously and constantly. This is like they literally. He just said that like. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party are bought and paid for, essentially by Israel. That's all he said. He didn't say anything else. Like, his criticism is for anyone that has received money from Israel. So obviously they're bought and paid for. His implication is that their votes are bought, their opinions are bought, everything they do is bought. There is no individual, like, autonomy on the politician whatsoever. There is no, like, there can never be overlap. These two people can't be working together because they have shared values. It's always that this opinion is bought. It's like conspiracy level thinking that is MAGA to its core. What?
Who have identified me as like a primary op.
Yeah.
And I'm sure those guys would love to fucking float money in their direction, you know?
Yo, whoever is paying people to make anti-Hassan content, yo, I'm broke as fuck. Can someone pay up? Like, I need money. I got $20 in the bank account, bro, and $50 in buy me a coffee. So, like, come on, Israel, give me that money. Where's my money? Where is it? Someone pay me. Fuck.
I believe that. I just remember maybe 2 years ago, somebody I know was working on a red to blue.
Also, like the irony of this coming from a guy who literally got paid to go to China, literally got paid to go to Cuba, and is literally a multimillionaire talking to content creators like us that are broke as fuck. Destiny is demonetized on YouTube, bro. He makes money off of Kick and donations. Dog, you are protected by Twitch. You get millions of dollars. Oh, you know what? I can't even, like, this motherfucker, dude. The projection.
And I'm sure those guys would love to fucking float money in their direction, you know? Just,
I believe
Please
that.
do!
I just remember, maybe 2 years ago, somebody I know was working on a red to blue that was not one of my races and was complaining about, I think, him or some organization of his, like, made big phone promises that they just didn't come to fruition. So.
Yeah, no, they...
So even right there, so Hassan says they never call, but now he's like, well, actually they call, but they didn't do anything and they overpromised. Get the fuck out of here.
They're not a very...
I was trying to think of, like, who appeals to young people on the, like...
He's
not fucking Hassan.
I was trying to think of, like, who appeals to young people on the, like...
He's projecting so fucking hard, dude. He was so pressed about our canvassing stuff, and he would constantly shut it. Oh, he's only doing this for attention. I don't even blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. They were so pressed on this. He was so insecure about this.
Enormous magnitude of what
Yes!
has been accomplished.
I think this guy was
Thank you, Tiny, you fucking asshole. Yes. So this is the guy who runs PA. I watched this stream, by the way. Was this around the election time? Because, yeah, this was his setup while he was doing that podcast. God, those were good times, bro. Yeah, dude. All right, so Progressive Victory, who then worked later with Hassan and had less turnout working with Hassan than Tiny, who Hassan has twice the size of the audience. You would imagine he'd have twice the fucking turnout.
blah blah blah. They were so pressed on this.
At a time when Republicans were hyper unpopular.
He was so insecure about this.
Enormous magnitude of what has been
I
accomplished.
think this guy was this is Sam, who was the head of PV. I think it still is. Was running through the stuff that we'd done. I think this was just for 2024.
We've just been tabulating the numbers, and they are massive. So we're talking about 1.6 million total voter contacts this year.
Damn. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 340,000 doors knocked, and that especially is DGG related. I mean, we had a lot of people come.
DGG related. Hassan, it's not a shell company that's faking this shit. You lying scumbag. Fuck. Sorry. I'm getting loud. I apologize. I must simmer down. The window is open.
Come from a lot of different communities.
Not really, though. He's being nice. Not really.
Relevant. Who's on stream? I saw IRI on earlier. You'll have recruited a lot of people too. But the door knocking has come almost exclusively from DGG. And 250,000 of those 340,000 doors came from the Campus House program. Again, the vast majority of those members were DGGers.
That I was funding, by the way.
Wow,
And-
really?
Remember, this is the guy who got kicked out so Hassan can give a speech in a Chairman Mao outfit, bro. This is the person who actually lent his money, his community, to help build up a Democratic race for fucking Democrats, and they kick him out because Hassan's a little pussy and has refused to answer questions in case Destiny and his ilk are in the audience. This is the person you want to get behind in your movement? Fuck you.
Yeah. And so many of those voter contacts, they wouldn't actually have happened at all if not for DGG and for other streamers.
But I guess this guy knows that our org didn't phone bank for a candidate. By the way, who's got the tweet? There was a candidate that Hassan flew out to clout shark off of a little bit. The candidate was not as popular, and these guys were tweeting at Hassan, begging him for help phone banking. No response. No, he didn't, because they didn't have enough clout. He completely fucking ignored them. Did anybody have that tweet where they tweeted him doing this? Like, oh my god.
On the center left, I'm trying to think of a figure that's none exists.
No, there is none. It doesn't. Like, I guess
I'm trying to think of, like, who appeals to young people on the on the center left. I'm trying to think of a figure that's none exists.
Bro, fucking Destiny, Hutch, you know what I mean? There was a time when that person was like Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, like Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins. Like, these guys were fucking icons on the center left, bro. But, you know, politics be politics, and identity politics torches everything. And then 20 years later, we got Trump, and everyone's fucking MAGA retarded, bro.
Oh my
There's
god.
none. It doesn't.
No, those guys, I think Mockler and BTC and all those guys, I think they generally have older audiences. Still a ton of viewers, but I think generally older, yeah.
Like, I guess it would be like Midas Touch maybe, but even
they're not
then,
too
but they're
bad.
not. But yeah, the Midas Touch also, like, Midas Touch is like agnostic.
I have no time for a news organization that has a particular slant. So if it is clear you're a Democrat and you do no modulation on Democrats, I don't care about your opinion on on Republicans, because you're just so bought into an ideological capture that like I can't deal with you. If you can't help modulate the community that you're supposed to have and help us keep the lines on what good Democrats are supposed to be, so we don't get taken over by our version of MAGA, then you are not I dropped Josiah, dude. I don't watch Josiah anymore because of how much he just runs defense for the far left and how he's being so critical of anyone that speaks out against Democrats, like Bill Maher. Bill Maher has been a powerful Democrat for like 20 years. I respect Bill Maher's opinion. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment that he's putting forward right now, but I agree that, like, yeah, the woke shit went too far and we need to bring back liberalism and more of a center approach to like working with moderates and, you know, stop trying to torch the entire system down 100%. You know, so fuck yeah, dude. If you're an organization that just does nothing but like essentially run defense or just attacks the right nonstop, but won't help us do any kind of modulation on like who we let into our party and why, and like what ethics, and like how can we ask like the Republicans to like condemn the actions of MAGA if we can't even condemn the actions of people that come to our party saying they want to defund the fucking police? That we want to, like, if we can't come after Hassan for his insane rhetoric, why is it not bad that like the MAGA Republicans never went after Nick Fuentes for his insane rhetoric? You know what I mean? Like, we don't get to like go after them for like the Hassan or their Nick Fuenteses and their ape shit fucking like Jake, or not Jake Shields. What's his name? The fucking guy who got beat up in Minneapolis for being a psychopath. Jake Lang or something. Like, we don't get to get mad at those people in the Republican Party if we don't condemn our bad actors. Like, we can't ask of them that we won't do for ourselves. People like Hassan need to be jettisoned from this party, who have on record say that they want to use our party to destroy our party, that they cheer when MAGA does bad things because then it gives them better talking points the next time they go live. Fuck, dude.
But yeah, the Midas Touch also, like, Midas Touch is like agnostic. Like, they don't engage in like factional fighting. They are very excited about, you know, Abdul and candidates like that. They're like very clearly a anti-Republican.
You should be excited for a potential of a blue senator, but you should not be excited for essentially a DSA dick suck. Yeah, he's not DSA, but like, my God, does he share some DSA fucking talking points, my dude. You should be excited about potentially defeating MAGA, but not be excited about trading that blue seat for like, you know, for social, like, no.
Candidates like that. They're like very clearly a anti-Republican organization, which is part of the reason why I've always like given him credit. Like, they just hate Republicans. True.
See, he's good at rewarding.
Yeah, this is MAGA 2.0. Like, if you say something positive about Trump, Trump will say it's good news. If you leave Trump out of the equation and talk about something that he likes, good news. But like, if you're ever critical of Trump, fake news. If you're ever critical of Hassan, fake news. It's literally the same system repeating now, except now it's on the left. Fucking Christ.
Which is part of the reason why I've always like given him credit. Like, they just hate Republicans. True.
See, he's good at rewarding the people that don't attack him. This is why Adam and these guys don't ever make anything attacking him. He's very good about rewarding them and kind of like lending them a little bit of credibility. Their audience will never watch them, but they leave him alone. This was Hassan About Us in 2020 or 2024, 6 years ago. This was in 2020. No clout from this, by the way. It wasn't asking for special appearances with Warnock or Ossoff or any official reward or commendation or whatever.
Isn't he canvassing for the left? Yeah, dude. The left is John Ossoff. Fuck my dick.
Now, back then, there was no clout for it, so Hassan fucking hated Warnock and Ossoff because they were moderates. They were moderates in Georgia. They hated him.
I already had one controversial figure on.
Damn, he was looking skinny and good here.
True, and his hair wasn't great and balding.
Jesus, he's fat as
If I was
hell
gonna
now.
have smaller content creators on, I would rather have them be you know, lefties that with relevant politics, like
Relevant politics.
I love it, dude. He even openly says it. He doesn't bring on small audiences. If you have a problem, or small creators, if you have a problem with Destiny and you say, I got a fucking problem with you, you could just go debate him. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter how great you are. He's open to a conversation. That's an open door. Fuck you. Let's have a conversation. Someone who's concerned about whether the metrics of the conversation are going to warrant them something on the positive on the outside are being way too transactional. And it means that they only want to trade their opinion with someone if it can net them some type of like revenue from it.
Politics.
Canadian lefties,
Not senators.
for example.
Yeah, relevant politics. Because remember back then, when my community and me were fucking all in on trying to get Warnock and Ossoff elected in those runoffs, there was no clout to be had here because nobody was doing this type of political organizing. Like it just wasn't really a thing that streamers were involved in or doing. And to be fair, Hassan still doesn't, but good one. Fucking loser. YouTuber Professor Dave is the most easily baited person of all time. How could a company Destiny sold his merch through and could see where the orders were going to and coming from? He's receiving thousands from a shell company with ties to the Israeli government. I have posted all the evidence on X, and his cult-like community always gets my account banned. I can provide all sorts of documents to back up what I discovered. The world needs to know why this monster is supporting a genocide. Is there any way I can contact you, Professor Dave? My job is nothing compared to the suffering of the Palestinians. Yeah, if this is at all true, definitely email me. Oh my God. Is he up to 1,000 responses yet? Oh, this was the campaign that Hassan was begging, or that they were begging. Because I think they'd appeared with the candidate once. Hey, Hassan and Austinox and team, y'all want to join the 1 p.m. phone bank for Kai Newkirk? 9 hours until the polls close. They totally blew him off. They didn't give a fuck because this guy was not clouded enough. And then he got defeated. Rip. The thing is, it did. When we actually talked to voters about the issues, they support our campaign 60% of the time. We just didn't have enough time and money to reach enough people to win.
God, I love that they always do that. They always go, 60% of voters like this. But if you can go read the study, it's like phrased in a certain way that like, not really. You know what I mean? But they cherry pick everything and they hang on it so much, bruh. It's so, or they'll be like 60% of voters want like a free healthcare or universal healthcare. And yeah, 60% of voters want some type of universal healthcare. That doesn't mean they like want everything that the DSA is putting forward or any of the crazy shit that the DSA is doing. But like on that one fact, yeah, 60% of Americans like want universal healthcare. But like the how is what matters and the where is what matters and the differences on these things are what break this thing down differently. And that doesn't apply to like all the rest of the shit you're saying, but they just lie. They just lie.
Very obvious to see. The reason Republicans support the invasion of the Spanish cities is they're doing this on behalf of Israel. They're promoting Morocco's core security interests, punishing Spain at the expense of their core security interests, because Spain is an adversary of Israel and Morocco is a security ally of Israel.
Wait,
and we know this because the State
before?
Department did the same thing in 2020. As part of the deal for Morocco to recognize Israel,
it's so crazy how like you could just, I wonder if you could type in the way that like Nick Fuentes talks into a model of AI and then make it sound like Hassan and then play it back. I wonder if it would sound identical and vice versa. They talk so similar. They are literally the same thing. They're just ideologically like on different sides of the fucking horseshoe. It's so fucking crazy, bro.
The United States and Israel recognized Morocco and its claim over Western Sahara, another disputed territory in northern Africa. And so the U.S. and Israel effectively gave Morocco disputed Spanish territory in 2020. This was Morocco's reward for recognizing Israel. Now the Republicans are back in power 6 years later, and they say the same thing. Go ahead, Morocco, take Spain's 2 remaining cities in northern Africa. This is your reward for being loyal to Israel. This is Spain's punishment for being disloyal. It's also worth noting, as Netanyahu carries out the ethnic cleansing in Gaza, one of the big questions hanging over the security situation there.
What? Oh, man, the language. Okay, good job, good job.
Is what do we do with all the Palestinians in Gaza? Where are we going to put them? You got 1.5, 2 million people that are clearly miserable and hate Israel and militating against them. What are we going to do with them? Where are we going to put them? Do we push them into the Sinai Peninsula? Egypt will not allow that. Egypt is putting their military on the border to prevent them from going there. Where else can we send them? Well, one of the countries that was under consideration was Morocco. The Trump administration said maybe we will have Morocco take the displaced Palestinians, and in exchange, we'll give Morocco more territory.
I like how he says, like, one of the considered countries, like Trump is considering literally anything, and he doesn't just say the most random inane shit that comes to his fucking head because he's a fucking... That's cute.
Trump is more senile
In
than
exchange,
Biden.
Trump is what?
More senile than Biden.
Oh, true.
we'll do things for Morocco. Maybe this is part of that deal. Whether it is or it isn't, it shows this is the kind of mindset behind the policy making and decision making in Washington and Israel, which is using Morocco, a Muslim Arab ally under this monarchical dictatorship, and also using it to punish one of their left-wing liberal enemies in Europe, in Spain.
How is it a monarchical dictatorship when they don't have a king and there's a big chance that I think Netanyahu is going to get trounced in this upcoming election? Like, these people just use every buzzword they can fucking think of to, like, paint the picture in the worst possible light every time. It's just pure accelerationism. Acceleration. I don't know how to say that word anymore, dude. I'm going fucking full stupid. Like, bro, it's insane. Like, and also, these things haven't happened yet, and they're just, like, it's just fucking projection and hearsay, and it's conspiratorial thinking. It's fucking insane, bro.
And so that's the third civilizational enemy, is that somebody opened up the gates here. Somebody opened up the gates of Toledo and let the Muslims pour in and conquer and invade Europe.
Jesus Christ.
And as always, it is the Jews. So it's the left-wing government in Spain that promotes refugees welcome, makes it harder to deport these people, incentivizes them to come here through permanent...
I wonder how much of this Hassan agrees with. I bet you if you put all this out and put a different face to it and someone else said it, Hassan probably would retweet it.
Residency. It's the Muslims that are pushing their own people as a biological weapon to go out and conquer Europe. But in the end, it's Israel and its Jewish allies in the United States. They're really the ones that are opening the gates and making this happen. And they're doing it to punish Spain because Spain doesn't co-sign the wickedness of Israel.
Wow. You know, this is, I don't know if you were listening, but this is like Hassan's exact position, right?
I've never heard Hassan's exact position.
He was talking about it yesterday, that it was all caused by Israel and the U.S., the immigrant flood thing recently or whatever.
Nice! When they're the same people. What a wild time. As long as the fight against the DSA is live and well, I want to be a part of that. But we can never lose sight that the main enemy is always MAGA. The reason why we want to stop the DSA is because we don't want to become like MAGA, dude. MAGA is a dangerous entity that, like, there's no cure for it. You know what I mean? Like, once you are infected with them, once you're infected with illiberal thinking, you're just fucked, dude. That's why these motherfuckers like J.D. Vance and the new wave of movement is post-liberalism. We have a real fight on our hands, guys, against the post-liberalist and the liberalism people. And either the DSA needs to get on board and help us win that fight against them so we can have our fight with them, or we have to eradicate them before we have that fight. But we can't win a fight if we're in a two-pronged fucking attack where we're literally fighting MAGA and we're being stabbed in the back at every opportunity behind us. That's not how you win wars, man. As an ADC player in any League of Legends match, you have to take out the first person that poses a threat to you. And someone trying to stab you in the back is a massive threat when we're supposed to be ideologically aligned while taking on a bigger threat. It's all hands on deck, man. We're going to win probably 2028 or 2026. We have to set the tone for what comes in 2028. And I think that we need to move away from some of the progressive shit for a while. Try to hunker down, run on anti-corruption, shore up some laws, fix some things, and remind people that liberalism can get shit done. And if we get any goodwill from that, we can then use that to like branch into more progressive politics and progressive stances to alleviate and help as many people as we can. Because that's the goal, right? To maximize humans flourishing and minimize the drain and destruction of the system and try to like make sure everyone's rights are perfectly intact. It's a hard gamble. It's hard math. And half the time it doesn't work. But we need to find ways to make it work. And we need to highlight those things that we've done well and stand on principle for those things. Every time. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching today's stream. I had a good time. Sorry it was a little hit or miss there in the beginning. Glad we got it sorted out and things kind of started working again. I'll see you this Saturday. I have a few videos that I'm going to upload, a few things I'm going to work on, a few things I'm going to cut and crop. But let's get to it, boys. Have yourself a good week. Have yourself a good time.